What's up, guys? I'm Jaden Stevens, and I'm joined with
Devin Ortega,
Jacob Roden,
and
Katana Martina.
welcome back to the All My Friends Are Warriors podcast. So this is guest number 2, Katana. Glad to have you on.
Thank you.
Freshman basketball head coach. Super awesome, dude.
Yeah.
You're so nice. Like, out of all my coaches, you're probably, gotta give props to Steve Ass too, but you're so like fun to hang out with like after the game.
after the games at the
Like,
McDonald's at one time.
Oh my
you
gosh.
remember
Oh,
when
that's
we were in Chico? We had the Chico tournament, and you drove us after the tournament an hour out to Yuba
Yeah.
City to go get Raising Cane's.
Yeah, that was for me, not for you guys.
Yeah.
I just love it so much.
Yeah, we didn't get back till what, like
we
2
didn't get back
o'clock in
till,
the
like,
morning,
2
something
in the
like that.
morning.
We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, but hey, it was worth it. But yeah, anyways, so Katana Martina, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so great to have you on.
Thank you.
Before we get in, we got to do the MD Foodie Boys shout out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what this is shout out. I don't even know at this point. If shouting out calling out the MD Foodie Boys to a 5-on-5 basketball matchup.
So yeah, you guys will have your 5. Your 5, you'll have Chubb Perm, Nonchalant, No Name, McLovin, plus Nelson, and then we'll have our 5. We'll have Zany, aka the hand-me-down version from Joe Rogan podcast. Then we'll have Jane's little brother, aka Chubb Mullet, and we'll have us 3, the Young Stoics. So give us a chance to play you guys 5-on-5 in basketball.
Yeah, and you guys have that connection with Dave Portnoy, so Barstool Sports can be like the cover of everything,
Media,
and Dave Portnoy can be like the Joe Rogan to this. So yeah, or no, the Dana White,
Yeah.
yeah. So many things, and then what's that guy's name that we were talking about? The Bob Menery.
Mhm.
Bob
He can be
Menery.
Yeah.
He can also be one of the guys
Commentator.
too. So
Yeah.
yeah. So we
Commentary
can
on
make
the
that
fight.
happen. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Just like Apollo Creed gave Rocky the chance, give us a chance for the 5-on-5 basketball matchup.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so to get in today's podcast, we have a food review and
Turned up a little bit.
turn up
You
on
can
the
keep talking.
mic. So yeah, we have a food review. This place is called. I'm gonna let you say it because
From the hearth, from the hearth.
However you want to
pronounce
pronounce it.
People pronounce it either or.
yeah. So
From,
from the hearth. I've heard great things. I've never had it before. I don't know if you guys have had it before.
That's also
I
my
don't
first
think I
time.
have either.
Yeah, first time. So if you guys want to open up
Yeah.
the
let's dig
things
in.
and
We also got Dutch Bros
yeah, Dutch Bros
from Katana.
Shout out.
Katana.
Shout out Dutch Bros and Katana. Yeah.
Shout out Dutch Bros and Katana. So I got the I don't even know what it's called. It's like
Kahlua.
Kahlua pulled pork sandwich. It has pulled pork on it. It has chipotle sauce on it. It has cabbage, not cabbage,
Coleslaw.
coleslaw on it.
Onions.
Onions, and I think that's it.
Yeah, then it goes. Jacob and I both got the Cali burger.
Exactly. So yeah.
We don't need
I got some
stop everything on
tacos
it.
gifted.
Yeah, we got
so
some
Yes.
tacos.
Carnita
tacos.
tacos, which I have not had from the hearth yet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, if we want to go ahead and dig in and first get the smell test.
Oh,
Oh,
should
yeah.
we
Ooh.
Wait,
brief
actually-
Katana on
Oh
the...
yeah.
You
All
wanna
right.
do that?
So we have this. We have a way to score these food items.
Okay.
And we've changed it a couple different times, but this is the final thing.
Okay.
So the sword score is the average score of all the reviews, or all the reviews out of 10 to 100. So say you take a bite and you think it's an 8.7, you say 8.7. Then I go 8.5. Devin goes 8.8. Jacob
it's like
goes 8.9.
Dave
And we
Portnoy's
just-
pizza reviews.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
And
and
we
we'll
just
get
take the rounded score. For these, if you were all trying the same thing, then we take the average. But since
Yeah.
we're all having our own thing, you just rate it what
Got
you
it.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so then at the end we'll get like the average, and then so 50 to 59 is decent, 60 to 69 is yummy, 70 to 74 is scrumptious, 75 to 85 is to kill for,
Oh wow.
86 to 94 is to die for, and 95 to 100 is Deus Vault / God wills it.
Ah. Okay.
So
I like
yeah,
it.
Seabass came up with this. So yeah, if we want
And I
to,
like that it's like sword themed because I mean katana.
Yeah, katana,
So
yeah.
it's perfect for me.
right? All right, yeah. So if we want to do the smell test, we always got to do test out the aroma first.
Mhm.
So Seabass also got the same one I got.
Yeah, we could probably take the average of you two scores and take the average of mine and Jacob's score.
Exactly.
Do you have any napkins?
Oh yeah, I put some in the bag when I got it.
On the
It should be in this. Now you don't know, but it was in the bag.
Gotta add
Yeah.
my
Had less food in it.
flavor.
Oh yeah, the The lime. All right, yeah. So, yeah, if we want to go ahead and take a bite into this thing,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead. This is a big sandwich. I wish it was cut in half.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Mmm. Well, I already know mine's definitely gonna be over in like an 8-7.
They might be a little cold because they were waiting for a little bit.
I put mine in the
You put yours in the microwave.
yeah. I was smart.
That's really good though.
Yeah. I tried shoving them in a bag that had like everything in it. So then my mom was like, "Buddy,
Oh wow, thank you.
These aren't used.
no."
Just to clear up.
Take those.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
All right, yeah. So like I said, mine's definitely gonna be over an 8-7 easily. It's really good. I'm gonna rate it like out of all the pulled porks I've ever had, I'm gonna rate it like I'll give it a 9.4. 9.4.
Dang,
That's what I rate mine.
that's a good score.
That is.
And you guys, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. It's a really good burger. Everything blends together really well. Nothing really overpowers one another, but I think I'm gonna go 9.1 on this one, 9.1 or 91 out of 100. So, yeah, that's a really good score though.
Devin?
I think it's got its own sauce on it too. Did you taste that?
Yeah.
Got a special sauce. It is a little cold, so I mean, given that, or taking that out of like the picture, it is a very good burger. Everything meshes well. It all blends together really nicely.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give it a solid like 8.9.
Okay.
8.9.
My tacos were really good. I think that I don't know. Maybe I've just had some really good tacos. I like From the Hearth, and they're so good, and they feel really like healthy. I think that with my score, I'll probably end up giving more like a 7.6.
Okay.
All right, we are
Okay.
back. We had to take a slight break because we had to change out a battery and get that fixed, but we are back. So, just to
so
go
where we
over,
at? Where we at?
we're just going to do all
going
the food.
over food reviews again.
Yeah, I ended up finishing my food during the break. So, I gave mine a 94, a 9.4.
Uh-huh.
And
Are you gonna
what'd
stick with that?
yeah, stick with that.
I gave mine an 8.9. 8.9.
Yeah, like I said, mine was really good, and I'm gonna stick with mine as a 9.1.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my. I will say that I had the last piece of my bite, and that gave it a little bit more flavor.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep it at 7.6.
7.6. Okay.
7.6. Yeah.
So, can we get an average of that, please?
We shouldn't need an average if we're if
Oh.
we're all
Well, those
like having
are,
the same
but
food.
other than
Like
that,
I mean, if Seabass wants to
We
rate
could
it, we can
average
get the
theirs.
average of mine and Jacob's. You gave 9.1.
Mm.
It'll just be a 9.
Okay. Yeah, so definitely a recommend.
9.4.
Yeah, or Seabass gives a 9.4. So yeah, Seabass and I gave a to die for.
for the pulled pork
Yeah, for the pulled
Ka-
pork sandwich.
Kahlua
Yeah,
sandwich.
and then Devin and Jake's. What'd you give you guys?
We also get a to die for.
Yeah,
We
to die
got
for.
a 9.
And then Katana gave it a
7.6.
kill
a to
for?
kill
To
for.
kill for.
All right, so now we are done with the
Oh,
food.
yeah.
Gonna go
Before
to,
we finish our Dutch Bros.
yeah before we
Yeah.
finish our
Do
Dutch
the
Bros.
Dutch Bros real quick. I almost drank all mine.
So I got
The
a Palm.
intermission.
I got a Palm Beach Rebel hand blended. I like it hand blended over
Yes.
iced and normally blended because with ice, they fill the ice up to here, so you don't even get that much drink. And then blended, it's just a little too like
it's more like a slushy.
yeah,
in a
it's
way.
more like a slushy. kinda like-
Originally, they had it always done like this, and then they got a new machine that made it all slush, and then you could just add flavors to it because
Yeah.
it got so busy.
Yeah.
But this is the OG way.
Yeah, so I got my hand blended. So yeah, I'm gonna rate it I'm gonna give it another 9.4 for the
Okay.
Palm Beach Rebel.
I got the dulce de leche. I've gotten this the past couple times I went. I always like chug it because it's so good. Gotta get a sip on pod. This isn't easy. I'll give it a 9 too because it is really sweet. and not everybody likes super sweet drinks. And if it's too sweet, that's just too much. So I'll give it a solid 9.2.
I just got
Keep it
a
balanced.
classic vanilla chai. I usually get a vanilla chai, and I always stuck with it. It's just like a normal drink, not too overpowering with like too sugary or anything. I like it. It's pretty balanced, and I'm gonna go with the 9 flat on the vanilla chai.
Okay.
This is also hand blended. Tiger's Blood Rebel with the strawberry coconut, and then I add pineapple. This is recent.
Pineapple?
I add pineapple,
Really?
and then I always get a pomegranate float or drizzle. There's multiple names for that. I've been getting this literally since high school, and I rarely change it up. So obviously I'm gonna give it a 10 because I don't think it could get any better. And it's super sweet, but I think adding the pineapple makes it
Okay.
just perfect.
Is that our first 10?
It is.
I think that's first 10. Let's go.
Yep.
Very well
Shout out
deserved.
Stutch Bros. Yeah, I'm gonna put you guys on. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You gotta try
so
it.
wait, okay. So going in order, list it down so people can get it themselves. So
Okay. So how I say it, well, this is medium, but a hand blended Tiger's Blood Rebel, add pineapple with a pomegranate float.
okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna
Yes,
try that next
it's
time I go
so
to Dutch
good.
Bros.
Which I'm
Okay.
actually pretty sure that every time I get Dutch Bros, they always have to have a drink of it. Always. They're always begging me for a drink. But if it's before a game, I won't let them.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you guys have had a drink of it before.
Have we?
Probably. Yeah.
I think you guys have, but we can always do another one. You guys can get your own.
Katana had to have Dutch Bros before every game.
Every
We would always ask
trip.
for a sip.
It's like right around the corner from the school.
Yeah.
It's more like,
Didn't
it
you
was
show up
telling me.
late to
Yeah.
a couple of the bus, getting to the bus?
The bus was also late, so really
The bus was late a couple
it
times.
evened out. I was never not making the bus, so it's fine.
I remember one time. I think we were playing. We were supposed to go to Red Bluff.
Oh my
And
god,
we
the
got-
bus took forever.
We got out of class at 4th period after lunch, right? And the bus didn't even show up till the start of 6th period or something like that.
Yeah, I think we were
No,
supposed
we didn't
to
leave school till the very end.
Well, because
Yeah,
When
everybody
I
was
got
already
out-
out.
Because I remember 6th period walked down the stairs.
Yeah.
6th period PE walked down the stairs, and they walked up. So
That
And
was
they
like
walked
6th period.
up. We were there for you guys were sitting there for a whole period.
Yeah, so whole 2 periods.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we could have went to ag and came back
And
and,
then we
got on
got absolutely no time for warming up.
no time for
Yeah.
warming up.
you know,
Yeah.
mistakes happen.
Mistakes do happen. Yeah.
But we won that game, right?
That's
no,
the game
we-
we
Oh,
lost.
that was the
That's the
that
game
was
we
the
lost
crash
by
out
like.
That
that's
was, that was yeah.
That was the crash
really
out
excited.
game.
That was the crash out game where the beef between me and their big kid started.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That kid, I
And
didn't even
then-
do anything.
And
to
one
him.
of the other kids on our
And-
team had a crash out.
Yeah, at the end of the game. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that when
Oh.
I was doing
yeah.
this.
I
I was doing
remember
the smart. I was doing the smart thing. I was trying to foul at the end of the game because we were a couple
No,
points
no.
behind.
She's talking about. Was it Andre?
Well, yeah, but I think
Oh.
he. Yeah, are you talking about a different?
I'm
situation?
He's talking about
I'm
number
talking about
3.
Number
When
3,
he had a foul.
the
Yeah.
little short kid.
Yeah, that was yeah.
When the kid was about to swing on me
Yeah,
because
that
I
was
fouled him
insane.
because I didn't. I wanted the time
Didn't
to
his
stop.
coach grab him by the neck to stop him?
Yeah, literally grabbed him by the neck. That was crazy.
Yeah, we've had some crazy times.
Yeah. Okay, so now focusing more on Katana.
Ooh.
Go ahead and I guess kind of tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know, just anything.
Kind of like my background and everything.
Yeah, background.
So I've been playing basketball since I was probably about 4 or 5, where they have those little grasshopper leagues for Reading Rec.
Yeah.
And all the way up until middle school, I was awful. I was not good at basketball.
Devin.
That is very loud.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That
get
should
as
be a
far as-
sound.
I'm trying to get it as far away as I can from the mic. Before I do that.
He has to get the little bits at the bottom.
Yeah.
But no,
Well, it's the whipped cream.
I
It's like
was
the
not.
soft
I was not a good player. I was super tall. For reference, since I'm outstanding, I'm 6 feet. And I was a tall, awkward kid, and I was not super athletic. But I was in a bunch of different sports. I played flag football. I played soccer. I was quarterback for my flag football team.
That's cool.
Just for a little bit, but I was. I was the tallest person on the team. Even though I was the only girl, I was taller than the coaches. But yeah, so I played a lot of sports, and then finally, once I got to middle school, I was actually a good player. And then I knew pretty much that in terms of basketball, my dream was to play college basketball.
Yeah.
I wanted to go D1. And this will be good for the viewers to know because I didn't know. But apparently you need like 4.0 grades in order to go D1. My mom was doing everything pretty much by herself, so she didn't know everything, but she did everything that she possibly could to get me to where I am today. I had like, I was playing with NorCal Heat AAU, and Nate Emerson was my coach, and he is amazing, absolutely fantastic, personally, in my opinion. And we would have plenty of tournaments here, and then we ended up going to the Jam On It tournament in Reno, which is huge. There's like 60 courts under one,
in one facility.
Exactly, and it was amazing.
It's so loud.
And then you've got like, it's super loud, but you've got all the competition. You've got boys, girls, young, older. Then you've got just like little stands on the sides of people selling stuff, and like it's just such a cool environment. And while I was there, one of the like Jam On It coaches, because that's who runs it, is Jam On It. She saw me playing, and she was like, "Hey, like, do you live near here?" And I was like, "No, I'm over in Northern California." And she was like, "We want you to like be on our team." And so we were like, "How the heck would we do this? You're all the way in Reno, and I'm all the way over here." And we ended up figuring out how to get me to travel. My mom would drive me to Reno 2 times a week, and then on like the weekend, I think, or like certain tournaments, like I would go and I would stay with the coach in Reno, and I would play in those tournaments. And so I'd go 2 days a week to practice in Reno, and then I'd come back, and it was like an insane but amazing experience. These girls were like younger than me, but they were so good. Like they had so much skill, and I was so honored to be part of that team. But like I was saying, I was with NorCal Heat too. So I would be playing with NorCal Heat, and then I'd be going over to Reno and playing in Reno. And it was amazing, so cool. I got to meet so many people. And then there became like a stretch of time where I was playing in, like we had a Reading tournament, and then I had a Reno tournament, and then from there I directly went to Oregon for a NorCal Heat. The NorCal Heat with NorCal Heat, and then I played there. I got 2 days before my next tournament, so I went home for like a day and repacked, and then I flew to San Diego, and we had a NorCal Heat tournament in San Diego, and then I drove from San Diego to LA, and in LA I had a Jam On It tournament in LA, and in LA at the Jam On It tournament is where my college coach spotted me. And she gave me her card, and it's Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Prescott, Arizona. I have never heard of it before. I'm sure you guys had never heard of it before. I was like, what is this? Like, put that in my backpack. Don't know what that is. That's not probably D1, right? So I was just like, whatever. She kept calling and calling and calling because she found my mom's number and then kept calling me and kept calling me and kept calling me. And my mom was like, give her a chance, talk to her, like hear what she's got to say. And I was getting, letters from other schools and, Western Oregon, San Diego Christian, like all these different places. And she just was so persistent. Her name is Becky Burke. Shout out Becky Burke. And turns out that she played for Louisville, and she was a guard for them. And she ended up just calling, and I finally answered the phone. And she was like, hey, I saw you play in LA, and I really liked what I saw, and I want to fly you out here for an official visit. And I was like, why not? Like, what's the hurt, right?
Yeah.
So I flew out there, and I stayed in, like, the Chancellor's Suite. And it was fall time in Prescott, Arizona is just gorgeous. Like, the trees are perfect. Like, it was crisp, but it was, like, everything was green and beautiful. And in Prescott, the elevation is higher. So you get, like, all of the seasons. You get snow, winter, fall, spring, all of it. And it was just... I don't think I could have pictured a more beautiful place at that time. And we were like on top of rocks too. So you got like an amazing view. And I was like, wow, like I love this place. And I, I'd never been there, and it was so cool. And then to find out that this was the first ever women's basketball program. They had never had a women's basketball team before. And so I was going to be part of history if I'd chosen to go to Embry-Riddle. And for reference, they're D2 NAIA. And I was like, you know what? Like, I've always wanted to be part of something bigger than myself. And I was like, let's start this team. Let's just join it and go from there. I didn't know what I wanted to do in life for my career. I just knew I wanted to play basketball.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Okay, let's do it. And I ended up signing with her, and we had 9 freshmen on our team, and yeah, it was insane to start out just having all freshmen
Yeah.
on a college team, and we actually did so well for our first year. And then our second year, we ended up going to we went to the CalPAC conference, and we were playing in the championship games. Like we were up there in it, and it was just such an amazing experience. And I got to make history not once but twice, because in the very first game ever, coach was like, "All right, we're gonna run our play." It was called 14-15. She's like, "We're gonna run our play. Katana, we're running 14." And I was like, "What?" Because that's to me. So the very first ever play, they were putting it in my hands. And I was like, and she looked at me, and she's like a buff, strong woman.
Yeah.
And she looks at me and she's like, "You're gonna make it." And I was like, "I'm gonna make it." Like, you know, I was like, "Yes, ma'am." So first play, right out the gate, we get the ball off the tip, and I made it. And so, I scored the very first ever basket
That's
for
so
the
cool.
school.
Made history twice.
I did.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
And I went 14 for 16 that game.
Ooh,
Yeah.
dang.
So that was our very first game ever. We ended up winning by 1 point. It was intense and insane, and like the whole community came out. All of the kids from the school came out because they'd never had women's basketball before. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, it's something that you'd never get to experience.
Yeah.
So
that's so cool.
it was amazing. But like, that's all of the stuff that like I went through growing up. Like, that's what led me to that moment, to that point in my life.
Right.
And like, it's just so crazy to think about. So, but from starting out being like this little chunky, tall girl that was not good, did not have any balance, to knowing exactly what I wanted in my life, to
Yeah.
like fighting for it every day, showing up every day for practice, like never having like bad grades. Like, obviously I didn't have like 4.0s because I didn't,
that's hard.
yeah. And shout out to everybody who does, like, keep grinding. But, you know, I wish I'd put more importance on that, but I still got somewhere without it. And so I just think that it's amazing, like, having that story of like starting somewhere, having a goal, reaching it, and like even
Yeah.
going beyond what you thought you could have done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how long did it take for you to sign with that school after you got the visit? Like did you have any other interests? Like, did you
Yeah.
just go to any other colleges?
Yeah, I went looked at Western Oregon University with pretty much like my team. We went and walked around, and there was
that's sweet.
there was some like drama there, I guess.
Oh.
The basketball girls on the team, like on the current team, were like, "Do not come here." And I'm like, "Girl, are you joking with me? You know, like, are you guys just being funny?" And they were like, "No, don't come here." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna see you guys later." And then San Diego Christian College had wanted me, but like, they only verbally said that. They never like did anything to like actually get me to come over there. And so I think that was huge on the difference between like what my coach Becky Burke did, which now she was just coaching at Buffalo, and now she's coaching for Arizona, University of Arizona.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, so she just got that job, and that's going to be her this year, coaching there. But
nice.
yeah, I think it took probably like, she recruited me, I think at the beginning of my junior year, and I ended up signing by the end of my junior year or the beginning of my senior year, one of the two.
That's cool.
I'd have to look at the receipts.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, but like, it was just something where I was like, okay, I'm getting letters, like I'm getting looked at by other places, but it was more so like, hey, like, we want you to be interested in us. And I'm like, I hear that, but like, you know, it's kind of like when you're talking to somebody that you like show interest, you know, like, you need to prove to me that you want me and that you like me.
Right.
Right.
So,
So-
they kind of went above and beyond.
Yeah,
Rather
like
than all these
she
other.
came looking for me. She would nonstop call. I still have the voicemail on my phone from when she called me and was like, "We would love to offer you," and like,
That's awesome.
please pick us. Like, I keep that voicemail forever.
Really dedicated.
Yeah. She was like, and that's the thing is like, that's what you got to do. If you want something bad enough, you stay on it.
Right.
You know, and it just shows like, this person wants me that bad. Like, it must mean something to them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super cool that you got to make history. And you went to CV, right?
I did Central Valley.
What schools did you play Shasta when you went to CV?
No.
What school? Well, like,
We play West Valley, Red Bluff,
Oh, okay.
Anderson, and Lassen.
Wairika.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we played Corning too. Yeah,
Okay.
We played Corning.
I
too.
feel like a lot of kids, like when they go to smaller schools like Anderson or CV or West Valley, I feel like they get discouraged because they go to a
Yeah.
smaller school. But your story right here is basically telling people who go to the smaller
Living
schools
proof.
that you don't really need to go to a. I mean, I think it helps to go to
Yeah,
a
obviously.
bigger school that you play like better competition, but you can still. It matters on how you are as a player and how you perform. It doesn't really matter on like your record or anything like that. I mean, if you do have a good record, people might feel more inclined to tap on that team and see like how they're doing. But like just focus on like how you're playing, and then you can go far. I mean,
you have to focus on what you can control. Like the circumstances of you going to a small school, you can't really control that. You have to control on, how you do your schoolwork, how you perform, how you show up to practice and things like that you actually can control.
And my suggestion is to do pretty much as I did, is like, don't stay stuck in a bubble. Don't stay stuck like, oh, I'm only going to play for a Northern California AAU team. If you're able to go to those traveling events.
It's like
and
making connections.
Absolutely.
Is huge.
It is huge. And I'm big on like, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
big on that.
yeah,
And you can go and you can outsource and meet different people. And like just me showing up to the like arena over there for the Jam On It tournament, the Memorial Day tournament, gave me an opportunity of a lifetime. I would
Yeah.
not be where I'm at today unless I went to that tournament. It's like every little decision that you make in your life will lead to something else.
Right.
Absolutely.
yeah. I've seen a bunch of videos from the Jam on
Jam on it.
Jam On It.
Yeah, Jam on it.
Yeah.
That seems so fun. Like the blue,
Yeah, no,
the
it-
blue
it's amazing.
courts.
Have you
It's-
seen the like head guy?
I
Before?
haven't.
He
No.
rides around on a hoverboard
Actually,
around the entire arena with the
That's
fanciest
amazing.
suit you can buy. He is the smoothest dude. Just like
That's
all around.
amazing.
Literally, he'll be like rolling up on his little thing, like, and he's like, "How y'all doing?" And we're like, "Hey man." He's like, "All right, good." And like going around, like he is so funny and so cool, but he's
Yeah.
always there. And like Kobe, he's had his daughter play there, and his daughter ended up playing against one of my best friend's little sisters.
Oh wow.
So he he's sitting on the sidelines there while they're playing each other. They're playing Mamba. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my! I was like, she sent me a Snapchat from it, and I was like, what, girl? Are you not freaking out about this? Because I'm freaking out right now, and I'm just getting the picture, and you're there in person. So like, you never know who you'll meet like going to these things.
Right.
It's amazing.
And it's like half convention too, because there's also all the. I mean, when you first walk in, the entrance, it's like
Yes.
it's just a bunch of shops and
Yes.
a bunch of
yeah.
like basketball stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's the
there's-
coolest gear you
I
can't even
know.
think of. I actually like when I was in high school because it was in then, right? I had like "Don't Sweat My Swag" like on my shirt, and I was like, I need that shirt. Like they just had like the funniest little things that like back then or like in your time that you're like, you can't get that anywhere else. Like where else am I gonna find that? Like that's
Yeah.
so
Right.
cool. It was amazing. I got like little necklaces there for the girlies.
Yeah.
We used to do like headbands all the time, so
Oh,
there'd
yeah.
be headband socks, like the whole nine. It's just a whole different experience there. It's
Yeah,
really cool.
I remember when you were showing me all your Instagram posts. You
Oh,
have like
yeah.
all like every type of like clothing you could ever like imagine for like Spirit Weeks.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
big into Spirit Weeks.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just like one of those things where you get to, you don't have like, don't worry about what everyone else
Yeah,
is
you get to-
thinking, and you get
Exactly.
to just dress up.
Exactly.
It's
yeah.
amazing. I've done, like Tourist Tuesday, Western Wednesday.
Right. Yeah.
I think that first one was, oh gosh, what was it? It's like, I don't know, something Monday, but like that's when I wore my Don't Sweat My Swag, and like, I had like a little headband on and big all hoop earrings, and like I had a matching Don't Sweat My Swag sweats.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, that's just like, be yourself. Like if that's what you enjoy, like being outgoing, who cares what everybody else thinks? Like have
Yeah.
fun. And I'm telling you, like, because I did stuff like that, people were like, oh, she's cool, she's fun,
Right,
like people
yeah.
are like, she doesn't care.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
especially on like Spirit Weeks, if you get made fun of for wearing something, you can pretty much like make fun of them back and be like, "Why you're not dressing up?" You
Yeah.
say that, and it's like you have no school spirit.
Just
And so
supporting.
it's kind of just like you're throwing bricks at a glass house. It's
Yeah.
don't throw stones at a glass house. So
Yeah, then there's no point in like hating on somebody for doing stuff that they like to do,
Yeah.
or
Exactly.
because it's also like we had one guy for Western Wednesday wear probably the biggest hat I've ever seen in my life, and it was like all the way out here, and like how funny is that?
Yeah.
Like when are you ever gonna get to wear that again?
Never.
Wear it. You know, who cares? It's the perfect time.
yeah. Okay, so you gave us that really cool college basketball story and everything.
Yeah.
So I think a great question is to ask like, what like made you play basketball? Like what?
In the first place.
Yeah, in the first place, back at 4 to 5 years old, like what really made you play basketball?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I mean,
It's okay if you don't really have like a a really clear answer. I mean, maybe you
Yeah.
just kind
Well-
of just wanted to or joined something.
Yeah,
I think it was
maybe-
mainly my mom.
Yeah, I
Like,
was
Yeah.
gonna.
you
I was-
know, your
oh.
parents put you in sports when you're younger. And,
Yeah, yeah.
But it was, I tried, like I said, I started out playing all the sports, but
Mm-hmm.
like that's what it was, is like she put me in everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was in dance, I was in football, soccer, basketball. Shoot, the only thing I didn't play is like tennis and hockey, you know, like, but
Yeah.
I did try out for tennis in my 6th grade year. I mean, so like I've kind of done it all, but, and I'm very blessed to be like super athletic. I could probably jump into any sport and play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
What made you kind of decide basketball? It's
Oh
like,
man, I think it's like, and so like I haven't been in love before besides with basketball, and so I think that like it's kind of like the whole idea of like when you know, you know,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
we like you have that feeling of like it's almost like I don't want to say it's like an addiction, but for me it kind of was like it was just like I cannot wait to get back on that court.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of it also has to do with once you start getting better at things and you start realizing that you're improving on skills, it's very
Yeah.
rewarding.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then you want to continue.
you want to keep seeing that success. and that
Exactly.
growth.
So you continue to keep trying to get better and better and better. And I think that once I started to realize, like, yes, I'm tall, and it was beneficial when I was in middle school. But in high school, everybody else is tall too. I mean, you know, and college,
Yeah.
everybody else is tall. Like, you know,
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, you got a scholarship because you're tall."
I mean, yeah,
No.
you told us
No.
stories about how you had to like when you went out to like what was it? Like a training or something, and you had to like post
Oh.
up on a girl who was like 6'7".
Yes, we played against GCU.
Yeah.
In Embry-Riddle, we did a scrimmage against them, and she was giant and in the most respectful way. And she was she's a beast.
Yeah.
And my mom took a photo, and you can just see this much of her body, and then my body. I'm underneath her, almost like I could be like, hey, you know. And it was So I love being pushed to my limits in basketball. Of like, okay, this person has X, Y, and Z on me. You know, like they're taller or they're stronger or whatever. Okay, well maybe I'm quicker. Like I'm not quick, but you
What
know.
can you beat him at?
Maybe I'm quicker than her, or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
maybe I can run down the court quicker than her, or you know, there's
Maybe you have better communication skills.
yeah,
something.
or like maybe I'm better at passing. Like
Yeah.
there are just so many things that you see. Okay, these are the negatives of my game or my weaknesses of my game against this person. But what are their weaknesses, and what do I have strengths that counter their weaknesses, so I can be better than
Exactly.
them in this situation. I just love I think analyzing the game.
Yeah.
Once I learned it, I just was like, this is such basketball is a lot. Like
It
it's
is. Yeah.
like I was just explaining earlier before. A basketball IQ is a different type of IQ.
100%.
So it's like learning, taking all that in and fully understanding something to the point to where you can explain it, coaching
Yeah.
is like, it's just so great to be a master of the game in a way. You're never really a master of it, but just as a phrase.
Yeah.
So I think I just felt the feeling of I want to stay doing this, and I want to continue doing this. I don't want to stop. Obviously until after college is over, I don't think I ever really wanted to go play in the WNBA, but
Yeah.
it wasn't what it is now. If it was
Yeah.
what it was now, I would 100% be like, yeah, get me on that. Let me go play in this. There's
Yeah.
people watching, the whole
Right.
nine. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it was just a feeling. I think I just fell in love with it, and it was just like, okay, I know I want to do this forever.
Yeah, that's how it was for me, in football, because I joined football in
Yeah.
7th grade. Well, actually, take it back a little bit. I was playing football, not tackle football, but two-hand touch football out at the school for years, and I just it was a lot of fun. And then I finally ended up signing up my 7th grade year, and I wasn't super bad, but I wasn't a star player, a
Right.
standout player. I catch the ball, gain 2 yards. I got put in at quarterback the first game of the year because our quarterback went out because he got hurt, and I lost 15 yards.
Right.
I just kind of sucked. And
Ever since then, he knew he was a quarterback.
yeah, ever since then I knew I was a quarterback. But
It's
then
I want to get better at that.
yeah, so after that season, the rest of my 7th grade year, I spent most of that year doing sparring and stuff, kind of just manning up a little bit more, wanting to hit people because I wasn't really into that my 7th grade year.
Yeah.
And then when to 8th grade, I started at quarterback, and I became this Tim Tebow. I don't know if you know who Tim Tebow
Yes.
is. Yeah, Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
He's not just a passing quarterback. He can also run and hit
Yeah.
people too. And so yeah, I've always kind of just been like that. And I also played defense my 8th grade year, but I was not a hitter still on the
Right.
defensive side. I was a lot better at hitting with the ball and not trying to tackle people.
Yeah.
And then
Which is so crazy to think about now, since I
Yeah.
know you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. And then my freshman year, I don't know, something just
Jaden,
clicked.
biggest crash out. Is this questionable?
Jaden, the biggest crash
possibly
out.
the biggest crash out on the team.
I think we managed it.
Yeah.
I think we
Most
were able to
definitely.
manage it, and I think you learned a lot from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely got better towards the end of the end of the season.
Kind of my fault, like with all the martial arts. Mindset.
Well, it's also, I mean, it is good for the boys
Is this
to
fire
get,
style?
to get the aggression out and,
Yeah.
And to use that.
But there's definitely a
because
point
you need
where I
that.
should, like
That time.
And
And that's what
handle
we
it.
were teaching you, and,
Yeah.
or I, me and coach, and
yeah.
and I think, I mean, do you feel like you learned a
Oh.
lot, like how to manage your emotions
Yeah,
and how to like,
Most definitely. I definitely feel like I was able to upgrade my skill at
yeah,
controlling my emotions on the court. And yeah, going into football season, like there was a couple times where my football coach might have made a like kind of a bad decision. I got a little mad. Like I'm not gonna lie, there was I know one time where it was punt. We were punting the ball, and the receiver on my team was wide open. I was gonna hit him, and my coach was screaming at me to throw the ball to him, and the guy went over and covered him. And after that, I kind of like got a little mad, and I was like, I went over to him, told him, Coach, I know he was open, but things happen. But I definitely learned through basketball season to like control my emotions a little bit more. And like Seabass is always telling me like it doesn't look good on the team if you're crashing out. So yeah, definitely, I think it's good to have that like aggression,
absolutely.
but like I said, it's good to control it. So I'm being pulled up to varsity as a sophomore, so like I'm definitely gonna need to because I'm not gonna be the biggest guy, so I'm gonna have to kind of let my aggression like kind of take over a little bit, but not to the point where I'm screaming at coaches. Like I'm talking about
Have
as
a
in
fire
like,
under yourself.
yeah, I'm talking about just like don't even think about if I should hit the guy or not. Just instantly go and tackle him and go take him out. That type of aggression is what I'm talking about. And so yeah, I think definitely I learned something
That's
in
good.
basketball season because I wasn't when I started like getting mad and stuff. I wasn't starting anymore in like the games that mattered. Like Enterprise, I remember I didn't. Did I start in Enterprise? I don't know if I did start in Enterprise. I don't think I did, but yeah, I definitely took a step back and realized, and then I did have a couple downs, but I think I definitely had more ups and downs towards the end of the season.
Yeah. And like this is a tough word, but like I feel like ego is huge about it. And I'm not saying that in a negative sense of like, oh, guys have egos, blah blah blah. But it is
No,
a sense of an
definitely.
ego of like
Yeah.
being vulnerable enough to put your feelings aside and be
Yeah.
like, because it's you crash out because you're hot in your emotions and you
Yeah.
react based on your emotion immediately.
And then you don't want to like be wrong about it. And
Yeah,
It's pretty much the idea of making a mistake is
Yeah, and-
scary.
yeah,
yeah.
And we got to remind ourselves like we're human. And you're young and you're still learning. And so that's why even though like I was graceful to you guys when it came to like teaching you guys how to like have humility and learning to regulate your emotions, but I also like I made sure to stick with my disciplines, like the result of your actions,
right, yeah,
because that's the only way you guys will learn.
yeah,
And so once you started sitting out in more games, not starting, and you're over here crashing out thinking, why aren't I starting? But like that within itself is an egotistical comment.
yeah,
Yeah.
Why aren't I starting? Instead of like, what's best for the team? And how am I going to be the best for the team?
yeah.
Well, that's me putting aside my ego.
Yeah,
That's me making sure that I'm showing up every day for practice and giving it 100%. That's me making sure that I'm a leader on this team, like talking to all my teammates and making sure that they have good, emotional regulation and making sure that they have a good positive mindset before coming into the game. A lot of it was, this is my kind of first time dealing with at least people vocally saying like, why aren't you starting?
yeah,
And like, and I'm just like, it's not about you, and that was like, for me, it was just kind of like baffling
yeah.
because I'm like, with the girls, I mean, they might be thinking it, but they don't really say it, or they'll catty talk about it in the corner,
Right.
at the end of the bench. But I had to like make you guys realize like, and also you all were coming from different schools,
Yeah,
and like,
because like Devin and I, we went like 8-0 at our last
Yeah.
school, and we like I wasn't expecting us to go, to win every single game, but I was like, I guess I had the ego that we were gonna win a whole bunch of games because
which is great to have that confidence.
yeah,
It is.
good to have the confidence, but we did play way bigger people and way better teams, and so
I
gotta.
think we had a bunch of like great players on our team. I don't know. Just chemistry wasn't there. I feel like sometimes that kind of
And that's
bit
big
us in the
too.
butt.
But I also feel like that has a lot to do. I mean, with football, it's hard because there's so many players. With basketball, it's a little bit easier, but it's about keeping the discipline on everybody as well. Once
Yeah.
one person does one thing, like you have to stick with that through the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how people learn, but especially men is like having that schedule and or like, having like the repetition of like sticking to my word, especially as a female coach.
Yeah.
Like and this is something actually I wanted to get into with like me being a female coach, like asking you guys, like, I'm sure that like from the jump, like what was your guys' thoughts? You see that there's a female coach. My thoughts is you guys are like this. Immediately disappointed. Before you knew me, and that's totally fair to say. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Seabass said that it was Katana, Zoe's like to die for best friend. And so, originally, because before there wasn't a freshman head coach, right? And then you took the job because the whole freshman girls.
Yeah,
didn't
I
work
was
out.
not meant to be there, but apparently, God's will, I was meant to be there.
Yeah, and so Seabass was like, before you became the head coach, he was like, hey guys, just let me know if there is a job opportunity. Like, let me know, and I might be able to, take it if I have some extra time. But then he was like, oh, it's Katana. And so he told me about you, and I was like, okay,
Which Seabass only knows minimal about me.
yeah.
Like, he didn't
Yeah.
already, like, he only got a couple of information, like, a little bit of
Yeah.
information.
Yeah,
from
so-
Zoe.
I said you were in good hands.
Yeah. He said that we were in good hands, and he told me how you were a center, and I was like, okay, cool. So I'm probably gonna be able to get
Yeah.
good amount of one-on-one time. And so going in, I wasn't like super discouraged. I mean, I've never
good.
had a female coach before.
And you guys have really good attitudes, too, so it's, like, probably not the best people to ask, but I know there were probably some people on who were like, what is this?
I mean, going in, I was like, oh, I wonder how this is gonna go. I mean, because usually, like, you wouldn't think, oh, a female is gonna coach a male
Right.
sports, because what I believe in is I believe that female sports are, I believe male sports are a whole different like.
I think it's
thing than-
easier for a male to connect with a male rather than a female to connect with a male in the sense of like coaching.
Yeah. So I mean, going in, I didn't really have too many, doubts because Seabass told me about you, and I was like, oh,
That's
okay,
good.
it's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, for me, Seabass had said we were in good hands, but I had started hearing from like everybody else because
Yeah.
we
We had to
Jaden
skip.
and I were coming from the varsity football playoffs practice,
Right.
and we didn't really get to go to the tryouts for
Right.
freshmen, and we had to go to the JV tryouts,
Right.
and so we were just basing off everything off of what the players at the freshman level were saying about
Yeah.
you guys, and everyone was like, "Oh no, we're cooked."
Right.
Like,
Right.
they
That's
were
what
like
I
that.
expected.
So I was like, but I also heard from what Seabass said, so I wasn't like discouraged, but I was definitely a little skeptical.
Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
had girl coaches before, and I know if they're
That's
like
true.
stern and if they're like on top of it, they can be good coaches, but they can't be like soft like girl coaches because then all the players will just walk over them. So
Take
like,
advantage. Yeah.
I feel like the first couple of practices, I kind of realized, okay, they're like Katana and Jordan, they're good coaches. They're not just gonna let us like walk all over them.
Right.
So after the first couple of practices, I think I was bought in, and I was like, okay, this is like we have good coaches. But definitely at first, I feel like I was a little skeptical,
Yeah.
saying that like, I haven't met you guys yet,
Yeah.
and I actually got to like talk to you guys. So
Yeah. I appreciate that honesty because that's what
Yeah.
I'm looking for because I knew that like from the jump because I mean I wasn't planning on being the coach there
Yeah.
or excuse me for
For the
the
boys.
boys and just so like for the viewers to know I was hired as a freshman girls coach for freshmen and we had about 7 girls total. I've always been like you only need 5. When I was in 5th grade I only had 5 girls on my team and we
Yeah,
won every game.
in Tahoe, over Memorial Weekend, we usually had like a team of 8 players for AAU, but Reese was sick. Reese had like a swollen appendix.
I'm surprised that
geez.
Reese
A bunch
is
of stuff.
alive
So
right
he
now.
was out. Oh, he posted on his note, "I'm alive again."
Oh my gosh.
So he's okay, but
Resurrected.
he was, and we were just coming off like playing in Chico, going
Yeah.
3-1, playing NSU, almost beating them,
my
and we're
gosh.
just our team is like a bunch of like the rejects, I guess,
Yeah.
that weren't recruited to that NSU team, and we almost beat them. We were up most of the game, and we were all like playing as a team. Now we went 3-1. We were like hella confident about going to Tahoe.
Yeah.
and then I think Reese leaves, or Reese doesn't leave, but he can't go. I get super sick, but I'm
Okay.
still playing the games. I didn't even know I was gonna play in the first game till like an hour before that game, and I was like, I'm feeling good. I'm playing.
Okay.
And then one of our players, Ashton, who had kind of been struggling with an ankle injury, he was like iffy, but he was playing, and he re-injured it the first game. But
Oh
then he
my
came back.
goodness.
Our player Robert injured his ankle too, and everybody kind of like started to kind of get sick because of me. So we only ended up playing with 5, 6 players
Yeah.
that whole tournament, and
Yeah.
it was bad. We went
It's
1
hard.
and 3.
It's hard.
But-
It's definitely hard. But like, I mean, you gotta work with what you got. But I mean, if I like at that point, I was like, if I only have 7 girls on my team, like I'll make it
happen.
work.
Yeah.
And you know, I was talking to the coaches or the administration about it, and I was like, I'm fine with 7 or 5, you know, whatever it
Yeah.
might be. Like, I can do that. And they were like, okay, well, we'll kind of have to gauge on how many players there are on JV. JV ended up only having 3 players, so they ended up taking the 7 freshman girls and putting them on JV to make 10, and so there was no longer a freshman team. And so I was like, well, you know, this is what's meant to be. I'm not supposed to be coaching right now, which is fine. I can focus on myself, do whatever. I go home next day, I get a call from Bunton, and he was like, so we don't have a boys coach. Do you wanna do that? And I was like, I mean, I guess one door closes, another opens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, I've never really coached boys to this level before, so like I'll try it. And as much as I love you guys, I don't think I'll coach boys again. So,
What were your thoughts like going into it? Because
Yeah, that was one of my
I think I
questions,
was
yeah.
more honestly, I know like how good of a coach I am. And I think I was just more thinking about what you guys were thinking. I was
Yeah.
like, they're going to sit here and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, a girl, like, you know, this girl probably can't even play. Like, you know, I just like was expecting all this stuff. And it was actually really nice to have the varsity coach. Gosh, now I forgot his name. Ammon.
Yeah, Ammon, yeah.
To have Ammon support me and like first, second practice or whatever tryout or something. I think it was more so a practice. He comes up into the center of the circle and he's like, hey, you guys need to listen to these girls. They know what they're doing. Like,
yeah,
I trust them. I believe in what they can do, and you guys need to do it too. And I just was like, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
because who knows what Ammon was thinking of, like, he's never seen me coach. He doesn't know much about me either. He just knows what he's heard. And, like, to be able to just go up there and be like, hey, listen, like, they have the credentials for this. Like, let them try.
give them a chance.
Yeah. And so that was, like, really rewarding to know that, like, he had my back. And it kind of put a little bit of, like, a, you know, you guys need to put your guys' ego aside, or, you know, whatever
Yeah.
kids were thinking, like, oh, we're cooked. You know, put their egos aside and do all that. So I think for
Right.
me, it was just initially I was just thinking about like what you guys were thinking about and how I was going to almost convince you guys that I knew what I was talking about. I never, though, let that be like the center of like my goal of like, I never was like, okay, I'm coming to practice. I got to prove to them I know what I'm doing. I know what I have and
Yeah.
I
You
know
know
what I'm
what you-
doing.
yeah.
And I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to do what I need to do for you guys to get you guys prepared. And that's what I went in every day with practice. I was like, we're working on what, like, I'm not even thinking about what you guys are caring about.
Yeah.
I'm just going to focus on basketball. 'Cause that's what I'm here for. And that's what you guys are here for. And the people who are going to show up for me, like, deserve for me to be full on for the game.
Exactly.
So it was definitely, like, more of that than me being like, oh, gosh, I'm nervous about, like, what the, like, I'm like, no, this is my love, my passion. I love coaching. Like,
Yeah.
these boys are so lucky to have me. Like, that's, like, what I was
Yeah.
saying. I'm like, these guys are lucky to have
Yeah.
me, you know? So it was just one of those things. And then to have, like, Coach Jordan, shout out Coach Jordan.
Where'd you meet Coach Jordan? Was it at college?
No, it's kind of wild. So, like, she played at Enterprise. I
Yeah.
played at CV, but, like, we never played each other because we don't play each other. And she's a couple years older, but, so I never really knew her, but, like, all tall girls in my, like, era, like, knew each other. And, like, we knew of each other or we knew each other. It was, like, one of the two. It doesn't mean we were friends, but we, you know, we knew of each other. But after college, I came back home. Turns out, like, her mom was, like, my mom's, like, dentist or whatever. Like, not dentist, but, you know, dental's assistant. And I didn't have a job yet because I just gotten back from college. And so my mom was looking for me for jobs, rightly so. And she was like, oh, well, Jordan works at, you know, Wind River. Like, they have security openings there. Like, just have her apply there. I was like, I don't want to do security. But I was like, your girl needs a job. So I applied for it. And Jordan at the time was a supervisor there. So I I had my interview while I was in Arizona because I went and visited. So I went and visited, had my interview there. They called me that same day. And they were like, "You're hired." Like that's but like the best interview we've ever had. Like, and I was like, "I'm terrible at interviews, but cool." So that's pretty much how I met Jordan, was like going to work and her kind of like showing me the ropes, because like our moms knew each other, we knew of each other because we played like in high school both, and like she was an amazing player. She went and played overseas. Like I didn't even know you could do that. Like when I was younger, I wish I had known. I would have followed her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was pretty cool. But other than that, that's pretty much how we met, was like at work, and from there we became like buddy. Like we were dealing with like the drunks, and we were dealing with like the homeless people. Like you go deep into a relationship when you're dealing with like crazies. And like we had the funniest story I have to tell is we got a call about, oh, there's a girl in the bathroom, like just
Done.
yeah, cooked. So we're like the only two girls on, so we both go into the bathroom, and this girl's like, oh, she's in that stall. So we go and we open the stall, and it's one of the normal stalls. This poor girl is wedged in between the toilet and the wall,
Oh.
and like she's a beautiful, like voluptuous woman, and she's like just stuck in between the toilet and the wall, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And not only that, it gets worse from here. She had vomit all the way down there.
Oh.
It gets worse. And her pants were down because she was going to the bathroom.
God.
And last one, she had no underwear on.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, Jordan, like we got to figure out how to get this girl out of here. Somebody had brought us a wheelchair, thank God. And like I said, this woman's a voluptuous woman. I'm like, okay, Jordan, I don't know how we're gonna do this, because she's dead weight. She's passed out.
Yeah.
She's passed out.
God.
And Jordan's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the back and I'm gonna lift her up. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'll pull her from underneath. And so like we're both trying to like pull her up, and I'm realizing I am face to crotch, just like I'm trying to lift her up, like not look, but like I'm like I have nothing else I can do.
Yeah.
So then we finally like get her up, and I'm just like, this is probably like the lowest moments of my life. I'm like, this is so bad. And so we get her into the chair, and she starts kind of like waking up a little bit, and her family and friends were like so thankful for the help. But I was just like, yeah, Jordan, that was pretty crazy. We had like vomit on our shoes and like on our clothes, and I was like, yeah, Jordan, I'm very happy you brought me here to work here. Like, she's just, yeah. So from there, though, like, we bonded, like, just working together there. And now we're going, like, out of the country together and doing stuff like that. She, so like I said, she played overseas, so she's, like, known about going out of the country. So when she was planning on visiting Australia, where she used to live, I was like, take me with you, because I've never been out. And so she took me in. So from there, like, we're kind of just travel buddies now, and coaching together and whatever. So that's pretty much, that's how we met.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We got crazy stories.
Yeah.
So,
Coach Jordan was
Crazy
awesome
lore.
too.
I bet going through those crazy moments built your guys' friendship, though.
oh, yeah, absolutely. It definitely did. And it gave us lots of things to laugh about. So, but yeah, she's just an amazing person. She's a good coach too. I feel like she gave you guys kind of like, I was almost always bad cop, like coaching. I had to be. And so she got the opportunity to be like good cop with you guys and joke around with you guys and do half court shots and whatever else is going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes I had to be like, Jordan, like, focus. She's like, oh yeah, I'm coach, right?
Yeah, because she's like not the most verbal like coach.
Right.
But she's still a very good coach.
Yeah, she's very smart about the game.
Very, yeah.
So it's just, it was very helpful to have her as like my sidekick for sure. So, and she was so helpful like with like stats and figuring out who had fouls and all that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never.
Jaden getting 5 fouls in the first quarter.
Yeah, but that was me. Like I was a huge fouler when I played. I fouled almost almost fouled out every game I played in.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like
That's how I like started. Like when I started playing basketball, I would always like rack up fouls like immediately, just from like playing like man press like
you
on
had a couple
ball.
games like that too
Yeah,
with us, but
I've definitely like
I was just slow. I didn't move my feet. Like I'd stick my knee out, and they're like, "We saw that," and I'm like, "No, you didn't." So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I get a lot of fouls from just like reaching, just trying to poke the ball out.
Yeah.
oh yeah, same.
you just gotta be smart about it.
Yeah,
And a
you
lot of
gotta,
you
you gotta
guys-
flick up,
Yes.
and flick down.
Told you
I
guys
remember
that.
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
That's what
flick
I
up,
get
yeah.
most of my fouls called on, because I steal like this, like I reach and I just flick it down, like, and I flick it out towards me, but I just flick it down, so it's called a foul.
Yeah.
And then like, in AAU season, we would play 2-3 most of like in Tahoe. We had to play 2-3 like the whole time just to
Oh,
conserve
yeah.
energy.
yeah.
and I would just pick up fouls. Just
Dang it.
like,
And there's only
I
5
stand
of
up.
you.
I stand up straight like this. And
Yeah.
play defense like this, and I picked up 4
It's
fouls in
usually
one game.
if you're
and it
moving
was
your
bad.
body or if you're not set,
Yeah,
you know,
but
they'll call that right
they were
away.
also calling just fouls like crazy. Like I think I had 4 and 1 layups in one
Yeah.
game.
Wow.
It
That's
was
kind of crazy.
yeah.
Well, I had like a multiple like mix of different fouls. Like some of my
Jaden would
fouls
just
were
jump.
yeah jumping. Yeah,
It was the
So-
it's the leaving your feet. I think.
yeah, but also
Yeah.
some of my fouls. some of
like,
my
"Stay
fouls were
down."
like I would get fouled, and then like but it was like an intentional like the kid fouled me, but he didn't get caught, and so like I would kind of like try to like do it back, and then I would get caught, and
Yeah.
I would get fouled.
Yeah. You're like,
And
you're
so-
going to do it to me. I'm going to do it to you.
Yeah.
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 That's what bites ya. That's what bites ya.
I feel like I didn't get fouled too much in like the Red Bluff games, but I feel like those were definitely most.
When we first played Red Bluff in the U Prep gym, when I got slapped in the face,
Dude.
I think it was called, but I got slapped in the face so loud, and it was like loud.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I tried really hard to advocate for you guys, but it was like, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh, you guys are boys. You should be tough. You know, like, just take it. Like, if they don't call it, it is what it is, you know. But
Right.
there were points where I'm like, hello? Like, you know, he
Right.
got slapped in the face.
Yeah.
Like, you could hear it from down the court.
Exactly, yeah, and that's the cool thing about like you don't have a lot of coaches don't have what you have. You're very like vocal, and you're always
Yes.
like pretty much like another player on the court for us,
Constantly talking.
constantly
Yeah.
talking, like telling us like you know
Did you
get
ever
back,
get
get
teched
back.
up in season for like talking, like on
Like,
the
on your
sideline?
guys's?
Like in our season, yeah.
No.
Did you never not once?
Not for talking. Remember, I got
No,
tech, though,
for
from
catching
the
the
West Valley.
Oh
game.
yeah,
for real.
yeah.
Yeah, which I'm friends with that ref, and she
Didn't
was
one
like,
of their
remember when I
players-
teched you?
Yeah.
Didn't one of their players throw a like chair, too? Like in that tournament at least.
Throw a chair?
Yeah.
No, that was Andre.
No, that wasn't. Surprisingly not. No,
Maybe,
it was
like,
one of their players like
I
threw a
think
chair.
I know somebody punched a chair. But
It might have been
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like a chair fell over or something, and they
Yeah,
got a check.
probably
I think it was
that.
West Valley versus Foothill.
Yeah,
but-
probably that. That
Yeah.
was a close game.
Yeah, that was dumb when you got tech for that because the kid like the ball was past the chairs
Yeah.
and the kid flew over the chairs and like I don't think it was tech worthy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it that it's part of the rules, so it's
Yeah.
just one of those things. And it sucks is like when you get a tech as a coach, you have to sit down for the
Yeah.
rest of the game,
Oh yeah.
and like that's hard for me. I like never sit.
Ye-
Like if you see
yeah.
me sit, and that's what also some of your parents have said. They're like, we saw Katana sitting and not talking. And they didn't like a lot of people didn't know I got a tech for her, and they were like, what is going on? Why is she sitting? Because like that's not like me. I don't like to sit.
really
Yeah.
in the game.
Yeah, you know, and I remember in one of our games, who was it against? I think it was Enterprise. I was walking towards the end of the bench it was at our gym at Shasta, and I'm like asking the ref, what the heck, you know, asking him whatever, and he's like, you need to stay in your box, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I'm in my box, like you know, like the chairs went all the way down to the end, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm within the chairs,
Yeah.
so like, what are you talking? I'm just because we're right next to each other doesn't mean I'm not in my box, you know.
So that's your box.
pretty much,
So-
yeah.
As
So-
long as she doesn't cross that line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not on the court. I'm not chasing him on the baseline. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm literally on the sideline. That's where I'm supposed to be. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think he just wanted me to shut up. So, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know me well enough, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah. That Enterprise game. Oh my, that was
It's
so.
That was a
close.
good
That
game.
was so. I remember like we huddled up and you were like hyping us up. You were saying we are going to get down the court. We were going to score the ball or put the ball in the basket. And I remember Aiden Serrano didn't even use the backboard. Put a floater.
Oh
up.
my
I was
God.
Like, oh my god.
Insane.
He had,
And you guys have done that twice.
yeah.
You guys did that with West Valley, and then you also did that like I was
Well,
so
Cy at
impressed.
least used the backboard in West
I know.
Valley.
Yeah.
Thank God. he made his
Aiden just
layup.
went.
That was like, I mean, Aiden's like he was on like.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things. I miss that kid.
it's,
but,
um,
but it was just like, I think also like speaking of that West Valley game, that was the second time we'd played West Valley, and originally we'd lost by 10,
Mhm.
and I was like, all of the boys have vengeance. I have a fire under my butt. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, we need to get this game, and
Yeah.
I was so glad it was close, you know, because the whole time it's close. We're going kind of, you know. And then last second, you know, there's like, I don't know, less than 4 seconds on the
Like
clock.
3.5 or
Yeah,
something.
3
Yeah.
something, 3-2 something. And I'm like, guys, this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna throw the ball in. They're just gonna try and hold it, but they're gonna get it. They don't care to be by the basket. You know, I was just telling you guys, okay, this is what's gonna happen. We have to do something out of this. Like if we don't make something happen, we're not gonna get that last point. And we were down by 1.
Yeah.
And I'm like, chuck anything up at that rate, right? But I was like, try to get a steal and get a layup. And you can, I have the video, so you can hear me yelling at Sai because Sai was the only one not like directly on his player. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to
Yeah.
make space so it
Yeah.
looks like
He
Sai
was
was
back-
lurking.
he was back
Sai
off.
was
He was
lurking.
backpedaling.
but I was
remember.
afraid that he was too far back
Yeah.
because I was like, but he's tall and he's fast, and I should have probably realized that. But it was our third game, and I'm just like, Sai, like you can hear me yelling. I'm like, Sai, get on him, and they throw that ball,
And then Sai.
and Sai deflects it.
Uses his lanky arms.
And beautiful. Just like I don't know, like I feel like everybody asked me like, oh, how'd you get the boys to like trust your like coaching? And I was like, I think that was the start of it. I think
Yeah.
that game, me telling you this is what's gonna happen, this is what we need to do in order to get this win and to get
And
a
it
vengeance,
happened.
you know? And it happened, and we were all so hyped, and that
Oh
was
my
like such a
gosh.
good feeling.
Oh
and
my god.
I
yeah.
just was like, I think that's when it started for them, where they realized like, okay, she might know what she's talking about,
Yeah.
you know, like okay, maybe. So that's what I tell people because that's like one of my favorite memories from the season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, if you had to pick one, would that be your favorite?
I think that was super fun. I did really enjoy the Enterprise game too.
I think Enterprise probably felt it was more valuable.
I think yeah,
Good,
because
'cause it's
we knew we
Enterprise.
could beat West Valley, and not I know that Enterprise they were missing 2 of their players.
Yeah,
who
because they
were-
pulled up to JV.
Yeah, who were really good. But like, I know that Enterprise is a good team, and they always have been, and they have an amazing coach, Isaiah. And so I was like, listen, like I know we have the ability, but like this is a tough one. Like this is one that we're gonna have to grind really hard to get.
Yeah.
West Valley, I was like, we can do this. We just end up like biting ourselves in the foot. You know?
Yeah, every time.
Yeah. and
I feel like we had better like player for player like
yeah.
against West
yeah,
Valley.
yeah, exactly. So I think that moment though it was like the first moment, and it was more so of like I knew what you guys could do. I knew that we could beat West Valley the first time. I knew we could beat Lassen, and it didn't happen. And so for me, I think it was just like I knew it. I knew it was within these boys, and so that was a really good feeling for me, like personally, and also at the end of the season with
Oh,
like Enterprise, like.
Oh yeah.
I was mentally exhausted by the end of those last couple games.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think PV was a really big one, too, though.
Oh yeah.
The PV game
Oh,
was
the PV
huge.
win.
Yeah, the PV
Hot
win.
out of the gates.
I think that was probably, like, one of the most what the heck just happened, like, feelings.
yeah.
So I
It
would
was,
say
like-
those have to be the top 3.
That was probably our biggest like when we won. That was like when we upset PV. That was
Yeah, huge.
I think we won by like 10 too.
It
wasn't really
wasn't
close.
that, yeah, it wasn't that, like, I don't know, but it was, I might have been 6. I think we might have won by 6.
Yeah.
But like, I think that was probably it. Like, this is the feeling, and then getting the like shock from the other coaches where they were like, "We haven't beat PV in years."
Yeah,
You know?
then
Oh,
we
yeah,
had Ammon
Ammon.
come in
Yeah.
and talk to us.
Yeah, Ammon was hype. Like, it was the whole 9. I think maybe the PV one was probably my favorite, but West Valley and Enterprise are second. Like,
Hard to choose.
Yeah.
yeah,
hard to choose.
there
Too
were
many
a lot
good
of
memories.
yeah, there was
The-
a lot of good moments.
The cool thing about the Enterprise one was that there was so many people there for a freshman game.
Yeah,
Like there were so many people
Yeah.
there. Like it wasn't fully like packed, but like the
Right.
gym was like it was pretty full.
yeah, it was pretty busy,
Yeah.
which I think maybe a lot of it had to attribute to maybe the JV game after us, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because our JV still beat Enterprise too,
Yeah.
even with those players
Yeah.
that they brought up.
yeah,
So yeah,
it was a good game.
it was.
Those were good times.
And then our varsity got whooped.
yeah, we ain't gonna talk about it.
Well, to be fair, our varsity's all sophomores,
Sophomores
and
and
They are
a
very
couple,
young.
a couple juniors.
Very young. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
They're-
seniors.
They're doing well though. They have a lot of good like cohesion with each
They
other,
do,
and I did
yeah.
notice that, and I think that was really special for them to have, and
Mm.
they have the heart for it, you
Mhm.
know. And you've got gosh, was Smith his last name? The really good kid, number 5,
Oh, Julian.
Oh, Julian Turner.
Julian. Oh, Turner, that's what it is.
Turner, yeah.
But yeah, he's special. when
Yeah, he's
on
pretty
that.
good.
Yeah.
And he was a sophomore, and he's
Sophomore.
going to be a junior.
Sophomore.
Yeah, that's insane.
Keegan's really good too.
Yeah, I like Keegan as well. So I mean,
So
I think
shifty.
they've got a lot coming up for them.
They do.
They need a bit more big and height.
They do. Yeah, it's
But-
Because they lost Brant.
they're
Brant went to
one big
Foothill.
player. Yeah.
So I mean, I wonder how they're gonna navigate that. But you just gotta like take what you have and like
Mm-hmm.
use,
Work
like
with
I
what
said,
you got.
use your strengths to their weaknesses.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So
Back on impressions, what were like your first impressions on Jaden and I?
I loved you guys from the jump. Like like you guys said that you had to go to the JV tryouts.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan and I were up there sitting watching the JV tryouts because we knew that you two were freshmen trying out for JV, trying to see, but that was also the only time you could go. So we were sitting there watching, and I was like, okay, they're definitely going to take, because you were the first one I saw, because I don't know where you were the first
Yeah,
time,
so
but-
I went to one JV and then I went to a freshman one.
Okay. So I think we first saw Devin, and you guys were doing like the one where you just run around the hoops and do layups or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
Vegas?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
It was
that's
it was our warm ups.
yeah, that's the
Oh.
warm up.
Oh,
Ours
that
is
one?
Vegas, but yeah, you guys were doing like on every single basket, and we're watching, and I was like, they're definitely gonna take Devin. Like, he's got great handles, great attitude. Like, there were just so many positives that I saw like from you as a player, where I was like, I don't expect us to get Devin, like, even though obviously like the only negative that you have on your is like your height, which is still like you're still amazing at a bunch of different things. Like, that shouldn't be that big of a factor, you know?
I'm like that close to dunking now.
Okay, see?
I'm so close.
Yeah, if you can dunk, height doesn't matter, right? No, but I was just like, okay, so they're probably going to take him. And then Jaden came out, and you were so quiet, and it looked like you were just kind of focused, like when you were doing your tryouts. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I was like, I was like, I can do a lot with this kid, because like obviously post to post, like that's my specialty.
Yeah, because they were doing like Euro steps, and I'm not good at I'm not really good at the fundamentals of basketball.
But you're also a freshman, and
Yeah,
what are you
freshman.
taught? You're
Yeah.
only taking what you're taught.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I could do a lot with this kid. Like, I really hope they don't take him, because like I was like very much on like they could take him, they could not, just based off of height and
I asked one of the coaches, not the head coach, but I forgot the other guy's name.
Gosh, I forgot.
Not
too.
Doll,
Yeah.
but the other one.
Not Doll, but the other one. But yeah,
Doll
I
or
asked him. I was like, hey, like, I feel like I could connect with the guys on
Adam?
this.
Anyway, sorry.
You're good. I was like, I feel like I can connect with the guys on this team, and I was wondering, like, what do you think my chances are of like getting on the team? And he was like, well, I can count probably about 2 or 3 guys that would start over you in your position. And then I said, okay. And then that's when I was like, okay, and I'll just do the freshman. Yeah. And then I remember when I went to the freshman tryout, the third day, which was the day you were gonna make the cuts. Like that was the day I found out I got kicked off varsity because of locker room shenanigans that went on, the hazing.
Yeah.
And so I was a little like I was kind of down on myself.
Yeah.
And I remember when you pulled me aside to tell me if I was cut or not, you were saying like, just try to, put that out of the way and just focus on basketball. And that's when you told me I made the team. And but yeah, I remember I was a little down that day because I was just a little upset. And so yeah, I wasn't really talking too much,
Yeah.
like how I normally would be.
Even though like even with like my coaching experience with girls, I've never really had to pull people to the side and like actually cut people.
Mm-hmm.
Usually there's like just enough girls to where I'm like, okay, I'll just like I can keep you on the team, but like
Yeah.
you're kind of an extra jersey, like one of those type of things. I've never really had to like make cuts, and
Yeah.
so doing it, I was like, how am I gonna do this? Because
Yeah.
as much as boys are strong, they're also really emotional, and like when they care about something or something has been part of their life for so long and they don't get to do it anymore, like you can see the defeat like in their faces. And I was like, oh my god, I don't want to see that like in any of you. And there were some sweet boys there who just didn't have what it took to be playing at this level.
Yeah.
But anybody always has a chance to play. Like that's why there was one of the kids who was a good player, but like his demeanor, his body language, his attitude, he didn't necessarily have like an attitude, but it was more so of like he didn't look like he wanted to be there, like at tryouts.
Might have to
And
bleep
I'm like,
this out, but are you talking about Caden?
yeah,
Yeah, people were giving you crap for that, and
they
I was
were.
like,
People on the team were very were not upset, but they were like, why the heck would you cut a shooter?
yeah,
And like he's probably like your build, but like maybe your height.
yeah, not as strong as Devin, but like,
Well, his build.
He's
oh,
like thick as
Jacob,
fuck.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jacob, yeah,
And so like he was just, like, and that doesn't have anything. That's not like taking that into super consideration, but like he was only a shooter
Mhm.
from what I got to see in tryouts, and like we would give him a correction, and he would make the correction for that time being, and then like go back to what he was doing after we walked away.
So not super adaptive.
And like he just and like I said, he just didn't look like he wanted to be there.
He didn't, like, yeah, I've played with him a couple times.
Yeah.
Like, no hate on him. He's a cool kid.
Like I said,
I've played
good
with him
shooter.
before. He's a great shooter, yeah. But he like has his ego gets in the way of things a
Yeah.
lot.
And I so badly wanted just that to be fixed. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like, and I think he only came one day or something. So like, I didn't get any time to actually like see him other than like the couple, you know? So it was just like really hard to be like, listen, I know that you're skilled, but I need people here who are going to work hard for me. And like look at Rylan. Rylan works his butt off.
Yeah.
Like
Rylan.
he gives 100% effort like all the time. And that's something that I love. And I was like, I'm absolutely keeping him. I know if I ask him to do something, he's going to do it.
Sometimes it was dangerous too. I remember
Yeah.
like in practice, like when somebody put up a shot and you blew the whistle, he would come in like a wrecking ball and like almost like
Because it's almost, oh, and you know, and his mom said that too. Like he's a very literal. So like if I say run in there and go get the rebound, like even if I blow
He'll
that
run
whistle,
in
he's
there.
running in there and he's getting the
Oh,
rebound
yeah.
because I said to get the
100%.
rebound. And so it's like respect, like that's super respectful too. But it's also like, okay, hold on, like we gotta learn
Yeah.
to balance here. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like I saw the potential in that kid, but it was also like I can't have, if you don't want to be here, I can't make you be here. So like
Right.
if if you're not gonna sit here and try out and show me like how bad you want it, which is literally when you should be showing how bad you want it.
Mm-hmm.
Practices, you're gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh god, I have to go to practice.
Coaches
Yeah.
tend to care more like how much effort you're putting in. Like it's like the Spartans. They
Mhm.
like really
Oh,
they.
yeah.
You could be like super strong. You could be super athletic, but that's not really what they cared about. They cared about like your grit, your
Mhm.
toughness, how much like your determination, how much you really
Ability
cared
to
about
learn.
it.
Yeah.
Your ability to learn.
Adapt, like you were
Yeah,
saying.
receptiveness.
that's why they were more quality than quantity.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, and like honestly, like I even gave Kaden the opportunity. I said, like you can come to practices, but for right now, like you would need to earn that spot, like based on your attitude, your effort. Like I wanted to give him the opportunity to be like put down in a sense of like, oh, I'm not just gonna get it just because I'm a good
Mhm.
shooter. Like I actually have to work at it, you know. And he didn't show up. I gave him that opportunity. I told him you can earn your way onto the team.
Right.
He didn't take it, and I'm like, you don't
Dang.
love basketball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you love basketball or whatever sport that you're in,
You'll
you're
do
showing up.
anything you
Any
can,
opportunity that you get, you're showing up. I
Mm-hmm.
know I would. Luckily, I didn't never have to. I was always starting. But, but I'm just like you would show up,
Mhm.
you know? So,
Did you ever talk to me? Did I ever like get a chance to talk to you after like tryouts?
in
No.
terms
I know.
of,
I know. I
No,
was
no.
talked to by the JV coaches,
no.
and they just kind of kept it short. They were like you can compete at this level, but we want to see you develop more. And then I think I just kind of showed up to the
Yeah.
freshmen.
Yeah, I don't think, because I mean, I even told them, I said, we'll take him. Like, if you guys don't take him, we'll take him. So,
Right.
which, bless. So it was nice to be able to, like, have you out there. And I think one of the main differences, like, something that I really love about you, Devin, like, as not only just, like, a player, but as a human being, is, like, your mind and, like, your vibe, like, your attitude. Your ego never gets the best of you.
Mhm.
And you're hard on yourself, but you're also, like, logical. You like, you know, you have a bad game or whatever, you're like, okay, I'm not doing well, so then I need to get the ball away from myself. Like, you know, you're able to think like that. Whereas like with other people, like I've seen people think, okay, I'm doing bad, I gotta do better. I'm doing bad, I gotta do better. So like they just only keep trying to make themselves look better instead of being like, I'm having an off game. Like
think
it's not my day.
I think it's because games that I've done that, and I still kind of do it. It's like occasionally, like against NSU and Chico, I like started driving to the rim, and like it was against one of the Red Buff players, and I knew I could take him easy 1-on-1, and he
Yeah.
kept fouling,
Mm.
and nothing was getting called, but I just kind of like repeated it over and over,
I'll get one.
and then like after like 4 times of doing that, I was like, okay, I actually have to stop now, and
I'm
it
not
took
gonna
me a
get the call.
second, but it was realization, like
Yeah.
realizing that I wasn't gonna get the call.
It's trial and error. That's
Yeah.
just what it is. And I think the huge part is recognizing that. And I love everybody on our team. But there were some that it took a little bit longer to recognize that, like, this isn't gonna, you can't force your way into making something happen. And I love the whole, like, idea of, like, God, what is it? The idea of, the definition of, it's not an idiot. I don't know, but it's like repeating. Insanity. Thank
over
you.
and
And
expecting
expecting
a
a different
different
result. Yes, and that's the thing is like, you know, continuing to like try to get a foul, try and draw a foul, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're not on our side right now, or they're not calling it. Like they obviously don't see it as a foul. We got to go a different direction. Like we can't just keep
Yeah.
like driving the ball and or like you've got to be able to analyze. And I think that you were good at like analyzing. Okay, there's 2 giant people in the key. I can drive up and I can do a floater over them, but you're not going to go through them, you
Yeah.
know? Like just noticing those, like basketball IQ. And I preach about it, you know, just being able to like recognize if I do this, what's going to be the result. And honestly, that's what I also love about basketball is you're thinking about 130 things all at the same time. You're like, okay, if I kick it here, what's going to happen there? But then that might happen. They might jump
It's
out
like
here.
it's
and
like chess.
yeah.
It's like
There's so many moves that you can make, and that's why like
yeah.
a lot of the times I'm like, I'm not teaching you guys specific necessarily plays. Like obviously we had plays,
Yeah.
but it was like
It's like do this set and then you have options out of it. If they do
100%.
something, you have another thing.
And I wanted to teach you guys to learn. Okay, I'm at the top of the key. We're running a play for the person in the corner, but look, there's a hole. We don't have to run the play.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's the goal of the play?
To get the
To
basket
score.
To score.
Yeah.
So the point is okay, yeah, we might be running this play, but if there's an opportunity outside of that play to have the easiest basket possible in that situation, then we take that.
Mhm.
So it's
I think
just
that's like
one
one
of
of the
those
biggest things I
things.
picked up from AAU because
yeah.
in AAU I don't feel like there's a lot of plays that
No,
necessarily get ran. It's more
yeah.
of just
5 out or
Five-
not 5 out, but like five on.
out or 5 on. You get a set like 4 out, 1 in,
Yeah.
and it's make a play happen.
Yeah.
And not always ISO play
Yeah.
necessarily, but like you work together and you just kind of react off what the defense is doing.
So yeah, to ask one of my questions, I know as a coach, I've heard it from many different people, and I've seen it. You deal with a lot of criticism, like harsh criticism, like and unreasonable criticism. So I was wondering, how do you personally deal with that? Is there like a way you go about it, or if it's, I mean, because at the end of the day, it's just white noise. Like, do you just like ignore it, or like I just want to know like how you kind of deal with that.
That's a great question. I think for me personally is I always try to not take things too personal to start with. I understand that like people's point of views are the only ones that they have. And sometimes people put themselves only in, you know, their little tunnel vision and they don't see it from the whole picture. But I try to, one thing is I always make sure that no matter how anybody else is reacting or, you know, as we kind of spoke before about some people acting out, coaches and whatnot, like I always am reminding myself that I'm a mentor 24/7. And what people see of me is they're going to see, okay, this is somebody who I look up to and they're reacting this way about something. Like if it's positive, then they're like, okay, I can take that and I see that how she's reacting and I can do that too. But if it's negative, like people are going to feed off that as well.
Exactly.
And so like when it comes to criticism, like I kind of said earlier, like I know who I am and what I can provide, and I'm very confident in my skills and my knowledge. And I think that for me, that's what starts kind of like or stays in my mind, and I kind of lead with that. I always try to lead everything with like grace and respect.
Yeah.
We had a handful of moments in our season where things kind of took a turn and like there were parents acting out, other coaches acting out, players acting out. The very first one I dealt with was at the Shasta tournament during Harlan Carter week.
Oh, the one at UPrep?
At
Yeah.
UPrep, and we were playing against West Valley, and one of the kids got a shot to the chin, and he's bleeding out of his chin. But like, and I was running this tournament technically because I'm the freshman coach, but also like I was given no like preparation. They were just like, okay, here's the thing, and find people to do the work or do the score and all this, and I'm like, okay, so now I have to figure all this out. And that's what I love like about like the situation with Isaiah is that like even though we beat them at Enterprise, I posted my team picture like with you guys on my Instagram, and he was like one of the only person to comment underneath and was like, proud of you guys, like amazing coaches. Like even though he had lost to us, and that was probably really hard, you know, not only because I'm a girl, but because he'd beaten us before,
Yeah.
you know. And so for him to be able to like put his ego aside and like hype me up because he knows that like the season that we had, and it's just one of those things where like you just know like when good people are trying to be good people, and
Yeah.
it's just that's how I try to live my entire life is like you're always mentoring somebody. And I know that's because I've coached for so long that I am all like I have so many people looking up to me. I have a lot of little siblings, and I don't have room for error. Like, but I also like I'm so proud of who I am, like
Yeah.
in terms of like how I conduct myself, because I know that especially a lot of kids or people my age and I was always like this in high school too. I always try to conduct myself very well and like very respectful.
Right. Your image matters because
Exactly. And that was big too, is like my mom always told me like if you want to go somewhere with basketball, like you can't go to parties. You can't do this. I went to like maybe 2 parties in my entire high school life,
Good
and
person.
I never drank until I was actually 21. And once I hit 21, you guys, I'm sure I've mentioned it before, like I don't drink. Like I'm 27 years old, I'm allowed to. I don't. It's
Right.
just one of those things that doesn't.
Just because you're allowed to doesn't mean you have to do it. You know.
And obviously I think it helps that I'm super extroverted, but so I don't need alcohol to get out of my bubble.
Right.
But for me, it's like it doesn't taste good. I don't
Yeah.
need to like. I've never vaped anything, or I've never vaped, I should say, and I've never smoked anything in my life. And I hold myself to a very
awesome.
high standard of like, I never like. I had friends in high school who would like be smoking, and at that time, obviously, it was illegal, and well, obviously in high school too. But I was just like, I don't want to be around those people because I knew that like if I even got caught around those people, it might hinder my chances of going and playing basketball.
Exactly.
Guilty by association.
Guilty by
And I was like, nope. I had a girl one time who was like my best friend. She came to my house. We were sitting on my trampoline outside late at night. My mom's sleeping. She pulls out something. I don't know what it is or what they're called, but she pulls out something for like smoking weed. And she was like, if you were my best friend, you would try it. I said, if you were my best friend, you wouldn't ask me to try it.
Exactly.
And from that on, I said, you need to put that away or you need to get out of my house. And like holding your ground because you know what's right is way more respectful than being part of like, oh, I'm a follower. I do what all these other people are doing.
And
I'm
it's,
going to
like,
vape
way
because these people are
harder.
vaping.
Mhm.
Yeah. To be able
Takes
to put
character.
to be able to put yourself above what everybody else is doing, to not crumble to the pressure.
And to not
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
it's not easy because they might say, "Oh, you're just like being a it's like square.
Pick
You're not
me,"
trying to
or,
have
you know?
fun."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
they might have they might like have an idea of like or an image of preconceived notion of what you are.
Yeah.
And
And like, that's your idea of fun?
yeah.
Like, that's wild to me. And like, that's how it's always been. And like, you guys like can tell now, but like all of my friends in high school, like they're like, wow, you're always so fun and you're outgoing and you're this and that. And like, I'm like, yeah. And I didn't need to do it, or I didn't need to do all that extra stuff. I didn't need to drink. I
Yeah.
didn't need to smoke. Like, I was never doing any of that stuff because I never
Yeah.
wanted to hinder my future, and I didn't want that image for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I hold people accountable to who I bring into my life now. Like, obviously, we're all adults now in my, with my friends and whatnot, and like you can do what you do at your own. But I had people who come into my house. I say, please respect my boundaries. Do not smoke in my house. Do not vape in my house, especially around my dogs who are my whole life. I'm like, don't do anything like that. If you want to, if you need to smoke or do whatever, go do that on your own time. Go do that in your car. Do that elsewhere because you're not going to do it around me.
Exactly.
And the people that care about you and love you will respect that.
Yeah.
And they'll make sure not to do that. And
Exactly.
I have friends who
You shouldn't
enjoy
have to,
doing that, but they go do it on their own.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to change for people to like you.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna
Yeah,
put your
you
foot
it's
down.
like what you were kind of talking about earlier with like how you want like spirit when we talk about spirit weeks and how you like dress a certain way, you know,
Mhm.
and you know people liked you because of that. You shouldn't need to change who you are, your personality,
Yeah.
for people to start liking you. You should
Exactly.
be yourself, and if people like you and people respect you, then they
Are
will
true friends,
they're
and
like real people, you know.
Mhm.
you
Definitely.
you shouldn't have to put on a persona or this fake version of yourself to fit into the crowd. When if you truly be yourself, you'll find people who truly fit in with you. If I'm trying to put on this persona like, oh, I do all this bad stuff, obviously I'll get friends who are a part of that. But if I'm just do my true self and like I stick to my virtues and things like that, I'll find people of the same virtues like
You'll
that.
build a solid crowd. Who you surround yourself with is important.
Determines your future. Exactly.
A lot of it
That's
is
100%.
the friends that you have are like is the person you become too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people say
Right.
you turn into like your friends.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like if you're always making sure that you have friends who are of high standards, at least to your mind, then like you're always going to be getting better because they're
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
getting better.
Yeah, the
You-
Stoics saying.
Just like Zoe, one of my
Yeah.
best friends. Like
Yeah.
she's a very good human, but she also like she constantly is reaching for better and better,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like in the most humble way. And so I'm always like, I love having her in my life because it's a great example for me. But I know I do that for some other people.
Mhm.
I know that I'm that person for others. And so
right.
it's just surrounding yourself with the right people and the people who
Exactly.
are going to be good influences on you is
Mhm.
huge.
Yeah, there's the
100%.
Stoic saying, "You show me your friends, I'll show you your future."
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
If you surround yourself with billionaires, you have a better chance of becoming a billionaire.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And not to say that you will, but you have a better chance.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
up your
Because
chances.
they'll show you the ways to become a billionaire.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you if you've ever had like experiences where you've been playing on the court and you have like another coach or another adult like a parent like talk trash about you and you're playing on the court? Has that ever
Like when
happened?
I was a player.
Yeah, like you were playing on the court and
100%.
a coach or a parent is like
Yeah.
from the opposing side is talking crap about
Yeah,
you.
100%. I mean, I've had parents who have probably been upset that I've taken their girls' spots.
Mhm.
But
way.
I can specifically remember a story that my mom told me where she was sitting in the stands and I was playing, and I guess there was a gentleman who, a father, was deciding to, oh, she's only good because she's tall and she's this. He would say she's such a big girl, or just like things that were just
Picking it.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
And my mom's sitting there and she's trying to let it go, try to let it go. And it finally got to the point for her where she was like, nah, like, I'm not going to let that go. So she finally like turns around and she's like, hey, that person you've been talking crap about this whole time? Yeah, that's my daughter. And she's much better than whoever your kid is. So like, you need to sit down and humble yourself.
That's how my grandma is. My grandma was
Yes.
at my tournaments in Tahoe.
Yeah.
And she like
Oh,
had
yeah, I
to
saw her.
exit some of the games a couple times because she was like about to snap at
Yeah.
these parents who
Yeah.
were like talking crap about
Yeah, I
us.
saw that.
And I think for me, I think I'll take in, like, I'll hear what's being said about me, but I never take it to heart necessarily because, one, like I said, like, it's about having the confidence within yourself.
Yeah, have you heard of the Man in the Arena?
Oh,
I think it's Teddy,
Teddy
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. Yeah.
Yeah, Man in the Arena, Teddy Roosevelt. It's like they're not the person who's in the game playing the game. You shouldn't care about what they're saying. They
Yeah.
don't. They're not the ones like playing.
Yeah.
They're not.
You're already putting yourself out there for failure by playing the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
So the fact that people are chirping on you just shows like who they are as a person.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I definitely am not taking any of it to heart, but I also make sure
Right.
that I leave a little bit there because that's what pushes you to be better is
Mhm.
like hearing haters.
Yeah.
And
Lights a fire under you.
exactly. And so I think when I'm like, okay, you don't think I can handle the ball? Okay, I'm going to be working in the gym for a month now to work on my ball handles.
Mhm.
Like, it's one of those things that like it influences you. It, it fires you up. And I don't think that I had too many haters in terms of like my skill level, but I think I had some haters based on my aggression because I taught you guys pivoting with your elbows out.
Yeah.
And I broke a couple
Yeah, you
of
broke a
noses,
couple of noses.
Yeah.
and knocked out a couple of teeth. And so it's not that I was doing it to purposely hurt anybody, but also you got to remember my height and the difference. My elbow
Yeah,
is at
you
their
gotta
faces
make up for
Yeah.
it.
or
Mhm.
their chins or their shoulders. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, you should know the type of player I am when I get that ball and I'm pivoting. You should get off of me.
Step back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I
Like
became
Reese
that
at the
type of
end
player.
of the season.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I became that type of player is because guess what? When I'm getting the ball, no one's going to try and take it out of my hands. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing is I became that type of player. That became one of my moves. And obviously there were parents, oh my God, she's throwing elbows, but you're not calling that ref. Yeah, it's because it's legal. As long as you move your foot with your body, with your elbow, and you're not swinging outside of your step, that's legal. And that's part of the game. They wouldn't have that rule if it wasn't part of the game.
Right.
And I made that like my thing.
Yeah.
Getting the rebound, keeping my elbows out, and pivoting. And if you caught an elbow, that's your own dang fault.
Yeah.
Like, get out of
Yeah.
my way because
Yeah.
I'm coming through. But yeah, that and then like other things that I would do would be screening, but I'm like a brick wall. So like I would be standing there and they would be running full speed, not
Did you-
knowing I'm there.
Did you see it in Chico when Jaden like
Oh yeah.
I think I did.
Jaden screened for me and it
Yeah.
was they're tall number 3. He's like big black kid, afro. His name's Andre. He plays football too, but I think he kind of knows who we are.
Yeah.
I know we know who he is. He played JV, but he was on me. Jaden sets me a screen, and he runs into Jaden and just like there's a picture of him on Max Preps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Carell got the picture, but the kid's like completely parallel with
Yeah,
the
I-
ground.
Yeah.
I wasn't even moving. I
Exactly.
literally set the screen. He just fell.
It's such a good
bounced right
feeling
off of me.
too.
Yeah.
Such a good feeling. I have a video on my phone or on my Instagram or something, but of that happening in a college game. I ran all the way back. They're in transition. I'm standing there just waiting because I see this girl coming full speed at me and she has no clue. And she just bow right onto the ground. And I was like, "Oop, sorry." And like, no call because I was sitting there for a minute,
Yeah.
like waiting for it. But
It's not like even.
the parent, like, especially with the parents who don't know the game and they're like, "Oh, that's a foul." Like, "Oh, she's on the ground." Like, yeah, or like, the one that sucks, the like foul that sucks, is when somebody trips over you
Oh yeah.
and you get called for a
So
foul.
it's so annoying.
You're like, you didn't see I was there.
such a heartbreaker.
It is. And you're like fighting for the ball and somebody falls over you and they're like, oh, foul. And you're like, what the? You know?
Yeah.
So, like, stuff like that. It's just like parents don't know the game. They're like, oh, she tripped. Like, she tripped her. Like, that's it. Like, that girl fell. Like, why is that a foul? Like, it just is. It's part of the game. It just is a foul or it isn't. So, yeah, like I said, I sometimes I'll take in a little bit of what's being said about me, but I never let it get, like, take the best of me because I know that if I let that overpower like my mind, I will never get better. I'll never grow. You know, if you sit on something for too long or if you let the haters win, there's no room for growth.
Right.
It holds you down. It weighs you down. It's like an anchor.
Yeah.
You can't go up.
Exactly.
So, you know, you remove the weight, and you start to rise.
Yeah. So the reason I asked you that is because last weekend at the Reading 3-on-3 tournament, and shout out to Reading 3-on-3. I love the Reading 3-on-3
Me
tournament.
too.
Definitely gonna have to go back next year and play
Yes,
again.
I might
Getting
play
our-
next year.
We're getting
I
our
didn't
get
play
back
this
next
last
year,
year.
Jaden.
Yeah, we are getting our get back. But anyway, so the second day, the day that
Oh,
really
God.
mattered. So we won our first game. It was a pretty good game. And we went into our second game, a bunch of Foothill kids, freshman Foothill players. And we kind of got screwed that game. You know, there was some technical
Their
difficulties.
scorekeepers were the parents, players,
Yeah.
and they kind of didn't really understand what was going on. And the ref we had was like a girl who was very soft spoken and didn't
Okay.
she didn't
up.
speak up about stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, basically where we got messed up, and at the end it was they were up by 2 points.
Yeah, 17,
Jacob fouls, reach foul, just to
Stop.
stop, make him recheck the ball because I think you would have probably gotten beat.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
he
Yeah, I
passed,
was
Jacob's
kind
out of position.
of getting beat,
so
so
he
I
just
just fouled him.
fouled him to get the ball up top, and the kid doesn't stop playing. The ref calls it, but she doesn't
Whistle-
really
call.
really call it and make sure they recheck the ball up.
Yeah.
And the kid scores a layup, and the scorekeepers count that point, and they get the ball back again, and we get a stop. Jacob scores a 3.
Would have
And
tied it.
would have tied it. There's a whole bunch of confusion, so they just call the game with 30 seconds left,
Oh.
and we ended up losing 18-15. But they
But
didn't
then if-
count Jacob's 3, and they counted their extra little point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we kind of got screwed in the
Oh,
end.
it was
No.
all screwed up because we lost was it 15-18 or 15-19?
It was
But then
15-18.
if you go on the website, it says 17-19.
Is it actually?
Yeah,
Because
17-19.
when we turned the score thing on the thing, it's
Score sheet.
the score sheet. No, when because they got a picture of it, and the kid's name is Kiowa. He posted going semifinals, and it said 15-18. That's what it said on the thing.
That's weird. They must have updated it because I remember seeing 17-19.
Maybe
I was
somebody
like,
argued it.
maybe, but yeah. So basically, during that game, I had missed a couple threes because I was getting hot on day one, and so I was trying to hit some, and I missed a couple during that game.
I was on fire that game.
Oh
You
yeah.
were. And so when I was dribbling the ball up, one of their not even coaches, not even an assistant coach, a parent was like,
No, it was our coach.
Oh, he
But he
was?
was also a parent of one of the players.
yeah, but he was standing behind the head coach. It was
He was their he was their
no,
coach.
it was this guy in a blue shirt, and he was tall, and he was sitting behind their coach. I remember he was saying, "Oh, he's soft now. He sucks. He airballed a couple shots. He sucks." And then a couple seconds later, I was like, "You're a grown adult talking bad about a kid. That's crazy. You're worthless for saying that." And then he didn't really say much after that.
Yeah.
And then we ended up getting screwed at the end.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
game was heated. We were down, I think 5 at one point, and then I hit
Mhm.
3 threes
Yeah.
back to back to back
Dang.
to get us back in that game.
Yeah.
then
No.
They were telling him face guard number 1 because I was wearing number 1, and they're like face guard him,
Yeah.
and I was so gassed
I'm-
at the end of that game.
Yeah.
After I brought us back in the game, I was just dead.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep playing.
Yeah. Not even just one day. It's both of the days. None of our shots were falling, and
Oh, and it was super windy that
Oh,
second
yeah.
day.
Oh
And-
yeah,
fact.
absolutely.
Devin was still making a
I
decent
had
amount of his
5
threes.
5 threes in that last game.
Jeez.
Yeah, but we still shot nowhere near to our standards. We just
Not
had
at
an
all.
off tournament. We just wind may have played into it, but our shots just weren't falling in. It just sucked. But
It's
Yeah.
unfortunate. We got screwed.
Yeah.
but
3-on-3 though is a totally different beast.
Oh yeah.
Oh my- and
100%.
was
It's
so
my
fun,
type of
though.
basketball.
And
love
I
that.
get
It's
it.
our type of basketball.
Our type of basketball.
I get it's like more aggressive and more slides, but one of like when I drove in one time, got punched in the face, and the kid like threw me on the ground, and it was in that game, no call.
Yeah.
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 And I was like, okay, come on, I get some stuff can slide.
Yeah.
Like going through some contact is good. Like
Yeah.
that kid's like the first game we played that day, he grabbed my jersey and like pulled me,
Oh yeah.
and when I was trying to do a backdoor cut, and he literally. My jersey's out to here, and he's
Yeah.
pulling me back. No call, and like
Yeah.
some stuff still has to be called, but
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the couple of factors with 3-on-3, which was what makes it so amazing to play on, is also from the retrospect, is you can kind of get away, like you personally can get
Yeah.
away with some of those things.
yeah, you do.
And like, you don't ever want to play basketball being dirty, and like that's another thing about keeping to
Mhm.
your own standards.
Yeah.
Because you
But-
still have to, you have an image that you have to keep.
Yeah, but there's also like you can be extra aggressive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you get the opportunity to do that. It's also a really good opportunity for you to experience that and to learn how you react to it.
Yeah.
Because if you just start, I have a video on my phone from the last 3-on-3 that I played where one of the younger girls was playing on our team, and I'm actually a really good family friend with her, but she pops off like kind of easily, and she fell to the ground on a possession, and the other girl was trying to pull it out from her hands, and she chucked the ball at her. It came right back to her, so she still had it, so they were like going for it, and she kicks the girl over her head to like flip her over and gets up and starts trying to swing on her. And I'm just like, it's not that deep. It is not that deep. Like, oh my gosh. Like, but that's what it brings out of people, is
Yeah.
because
Right.
you're getting pushed, you're getting tested to your limit emotionally. Not
Yeah,
even just
yeah.
physically, but emotionally,
Yeah.
because you're getting beat up.
In that last game, after like I got hit to the ground, I fell back and like boom on the ground. Like
Yeah.
damn. After that,
Yeah, I
that's when
remember
that's when I went off. And
Yeah.
Straight on your back.
Yeah.
it hurt so bad.
I was like,
And
damn.
Yeah, exactly. But like that's the thing, is like what we were talking about is when you
How you
hear
react.
people, when you hear people like hating on you, like like I said, don't let it go to heart,
Exactly.
but take it to mind
Mhm.
and just be like, okay, I have this opportunity here to like, okay, I'll prove to you. And even if you're having an off day on shooting or you're having an off day, whatever, right? Remember, we try something else. If
Yeah,
I'm not on
yeah.
this, maybe my passes are on, and I
Exactly.
can actually get it to somebody else to make something else happen.
right.
Yeah, I mean, that was my first ever 3-on-3 I played, and then playing with them, and playing up, it was
Playing up 2 divisions.
Yeah, it was
That's true.
it was it was like a real test, and then also I think it just benefited me in multiple ways. There's people who are stronger, faster, way better. The defense, just everything is a lot better. So, it just helped me, and then it just pushed me to my limits. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I think
Yeah.
I benefited from it.
I love 3-on-3, but like you were saying, sometimes the parents get way too into it. A lot of the parents who their years are over, they're no longer
They're
playing.
living it through their kid.
They played in high school and think they were the crap in high school. Like they're like, oh, and they get way too into the game, and that's the thing. It's like they're a grown adult, but it just shows that like they don't care how they look,
Right.
and
Yeah.
like you shouldn't value their word at that point, because
Yeah, because who are they as a person?
like why would I be offended by somebody who doesn't have what I want in life?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Um,
3-on-3 definitely gets heated. So
No, it does. I got a question. Who do you think you model your game after? Like, if any, like player, who do you think you model your game after?
That is a good question, but I don't even think that I could say like my skill wise, like what I know, that I model it after necessarily anybody, because growing up I didn't even watch basketball. I didn't watch the NBA. I didn't watch college. That was never big on my radar. I knew who I had in my surrounding area, or like people that I'd play against in Nevada and LA. And like I would just take the girls from those tournaments and I would try to be as good as them or better.
mhm.
And so I would just reflect, because like if you think about it, like realistically, I'm watching Texas play, or the NBA. I'm never really going to be to that level. Like, I mean, obviously maybe college wise, but like NBA, I'm not going to be a guy NBA player. Like,
yeah.
how realistic is it for me to like model after that versus something that I can achieve of like, and not saying that that's not, you can't take good stuff from professional players, but I want to see the real human beings that I could, I could physically
Yeah.
touch. I can touch you and be like, okay, they're real. That's a human. Like they've got this going for them, and they're able to do this, and they go to these camps, and they do, like, I can model myself after somebody who works hard like
Something
that.
that's attainable.
Yeah, and like I said, not saying that that's not, but it's more realistic for my type of play. So
Right.
I would say that the way that I model, or who I model after in terms of like mentality, could be somebody like MJ, like Kobe, like always making sure that you're like being viewed as like somebody who's people can look up to, and somebody who has good character, always helping somebody up off the floor, like little things like that. Because I know that you guys, when you're playing, you know that kid who always is picking up the other kid. You know, you're like, that's a good dude.
Yeah.
And you guys always know that, and you immediately know that. And that's how I have always cared about how other people think of me, which can be positive, can be negative. But like, that's why I've become such, in my opinion, a good person today, is because I care about those people's feelings. I want to make sure that those people know that I'm going to be there for them, or that, so it's one of those things where like, okay, I'm going to continue to show up for those people, and I'm going to be the best person I can be on the court, off the court. So that way people know that that's just who I am, and they can always look at me and go, that's a good human,
Yeah.
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 That's a great answer.
That is.
Right.
That's
Thank you.
taking the answer or taking the question, formulating it in your own way.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like some Bruce Lee frame control.
Yeah.
It's just
It
how
was.
my mind has worked all these years of I always say, there's only one me. Like, ain't nobody else is me. And that's why I have the standards that I have for myself and the goals that I want to reach. And I just make sure that I don't try to model it or I want to be like this person. Like, no, I want to be
You
like
wanna
me.
be your own person.
I want to be like me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of my last questions I have on
Yeah.
here is, because I know you said there was like not like a specific reason you got into basketball. Like you, as a kid, you were just put into a lot of sports. Mom might have just put into another sport to stay active, and just another sport. So I wanted to know if there was any reason you started coaching, because I didn't know if there was a certain reason behind that.
I love that question. I've always known that I loved kids. Like, I've always been happy around kids. I've grown up with like a lot of siblings, so I think that helps too. But I was in high school when I first started coaching. I feel like we need an intermission. What's happening here? But no, I were you guys taking it from that first sentence I said? Okay. I've always loved influencing kids. I guess that's one way to say it. But no, I was in high school, and like I said, my coach Nate Emerson, he ran the NorCal Heat AAU program, and he wanted us to be coaches essentially. And I've always loved working with kids, and I knew I had a passion for that, and I loved basketball. What's better than
Combination.
the combination?
Right,
Exactly.
So I was like, heck yeah, like let me coach. I'll teach all. Like, I love basketball. This is my passion. Like, I could teach all. Like, when you're teaching something that you love, like,
yeah,
that's
it's not even like
easy.
a job at that
no,
point. It's just
that's
like
easy.
Yeah.
And so for these kids, my very first group of kids were these third graders, and shout out to Callie and Brooke Smith. They were on my first team that I had, and we've got, these little girls with little goggles on and trying to dribble and all this stuff. And it was just like a really fun experience. Yeah, very wholesome. And I realized, I was like, this is really fun. I really like doing this. I started coaching girls a little bit older. And then, like I said, I went to Arizona for school, and I was looking for jobs and whatnot. And I got that call for the Wind River job for security. And then right after, I ended up getting a call from my old assistant basketball coach and at Central Valley. She now works at Foothill.
Okay.
She called me, and she was like, we need a coach at Foothill. Are you interested? And I was like, oh, I was like, I've never coached high school before. Like, that's scary.
Yeah.
High school's like where
and
you
it's a big
start-
step up.
Yeah, and like I coached like, pretty much 5th grade, 3rd grade, and that was in high school. And I was just like, wow, like I'm gonna have a huge impact on these kids' lives. So I was like, well, I'll try it. And I was really, really nervous, like the first time that I started to coach for freshmen. We had tryouts. I wasn't exactly sure, like, well, okay, what am I looking for? Like, because with the kids, they're all running around doing whatever. Everybody's on the team. But I kid you not, probably after the first day was over, I felt like I'd been doing it for years. And I was like, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew exactly like what I was going to implement and the plays I was going to do and the defense and the, press and just the whole 9 yards. I just had so much confidence in it because I'm like I said, when you know what you're talking about, it's a different type of thing.
Exactly.
Right.
And so I was like, and everybody who was on my team bought into it. And so it was super, super amazing to have that as like my opportunity. I had great players. We ended up doing really, really well. And
It's amazing.
then I got to, do it the next year. And lo and behold, Callie and Brooke Smith, the girls that I had coached from 3rd grade, the little goggle girls. Well, one of them had little goggle glasses on. They're now freshmen, and I'm coaching them again. And that was amazing full circle moment. And now they're amazing people. Callie and Brooke are both going to Shasta College to play there. Callie got other offers as well, I think, but she wanted to play with her twin sister. So, like, it's just, like, being a part of that is something that I can't really describe.
Yeah.
Something bigger than like.
It is. And so to be part of, and also to be an influence in these people's lives, like in your guys' lives, is a gift I would never take away. Like, I would never want to take that away from myself, honestly, or you guys. Like, it to be able to mentor kids is such a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when I realized, like, okay, I really like this. And then once I hit high school level, I was like, I love this. Like, and these kids know how to play. I'm not teaching them how to dribble. And I mean, some I am. But, I'm not like, okay, take a layup, here and there. Sometimes I am still doing that. But yeah, I think it was just from there I knew, like, I get to, like, be around kids and mentor them because, and I think this is, like, kind of, I don't know, maybe I need to be humbled a little bit, but I do know that, like, there's not a lot of people out there like me who are like a really good influence. And luckily, and at least in our area, I know that we do have like a lot of good influences like Seabass, for the generations coming up. And so I just know, like, as long as we can continue to get really good mentors and influences in the community to uplift these kids and teach them how to be classy and how to, how to react to certain things well. Like, I just think that that's such an honor for me to be able to do that.
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
You've talked about like influence, inspiration, like mentorship a lot.
Yeah.
Who do you think like influenced you and like was your inspiration growing up?
That gets really deep. Honestly, I don't know that I necessarily had anybody that I could look to who reacted the way that I have or handled situations with such high class like I have. I think for me, it was very much so of like just standing in my image and like knowing what I wanted to portray. My mom has also been like my coach for many of my years.
Yeah.
And she's an amazing coach. And I learned a lot of my techniques from her. She's the person who taught me, if you're a parent and you start coaching your kid while I'm the coach, your kid's sitting. And don't talk back to me because, like, then you're going to start running. Like, she taught me all of the principles that I pretty much implement into all of my stuff, which is huge. I think in terms of just how I am as, like, a human being, though, I think I didn't necessarily have somebody specifically who I learned those things from, but I did see the opposite. I saw the negative, and I said, okay, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah,
Or I don't wanna do
Bruce
that.
Lee says like take what's good, discard what's bad.
Exactly.
You can, even if somebody is like a negative role model, there's still stuff you can pick up on, and you can see what not to
be
do,
like.
not to be like.
And that's such a, so I'm a psychology major, and like for me, there's a lot of just, my mind goes to, okay, you've got this individual who has this upbringing. They're either, it's so crazy to me to think that they can either be just like their parents or they can see what their
be the
parents are like, and
complete
they can be the
opposite.
complete opposite.
Exactly.
But it's like about, like, how do you build on who you want to be in your character? Like, how does that even happen?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think like you could have been a completely different person if you followed down the path that was given to you. Like,
if you didn't make that one change, that one step away from where you were going.
exactly.
Seabass, like, kind of, he told us a story. Like, I've heard the story a bunch from like when I was like a little preschooler. up till 8th grade at the school. And I mean, even to this day, he told a story about two twin brothers. You know, they grew up, their dad, drunk,
Terrible
abusive, terrible person, smokes, doesn't really have a job, you know, like just a bad father. One kid grows up and an interviewer asks him, why are you the way you are? And he is like a drunk, he's abusive, he is like the spitting image of his father. And he says, because I watched my dad. And their other twin says, the interviewer asks him, why are you the way you are? And he says, because I watched my father growing up. And he is like he's a great father. He is
A good person.
a
has
good
a
role
nice job.
model, has a nice job, has a nice family, treats his wife respectfully, treats his kids well. And it's how you respond to like things that are given, how you respond to your situation will make you who you are. If you adapt and, you know, change because of it and become better and you grow, or if you just kind of let it encase you and you just live your life that way.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
How you respond
It's
is
finding that path that you want to go is
Exactly.
the hard part. But you just got to know what you want for your future. A lot of the kids who don't have an idea for their future end up taking the wrong path. And that's the
Yeah.
hard part, is that they have so much potential to go somewhere and be something, and then they end up or it's the hard route. The hard route is being the best version of yourself. And they're like, I don't want to do all that.
Yeah, most of the time I feel like it is. It's not easy to like have strong, good morals that you stick to,
Yeah.
because especially when you see other people around you like choosing vice, and it's an easier like path to choose because you don't have to put as much effort in to like. You don't have to be a good person. You don't have to worry about, you know, your image. So that's like an easier path. Why wouldn't you choose that, right?
Exactly.
But it's you want to. It's a struggle. You want to struggle uphill to be the better person, even if it is harder. Because
Absolutely.
who do you want to be as a person when you grow up? Who do you want to be as like a father or a mother, or as a role model to people? You got to think about the future.
Yeah, and it sucks to see like there's a bunch of kids nowadays that like don't have the best family in this, so they don't. A lot of the times they don't have like the best. What?
Gonna hit that.
Oh, a lot of the times they don't have
Stretching.
like the best options to choose from, like
Yeah.
as in like father figures or like a mother figure. So they're
Mentors.
kind of like mentors. So they kind of have to just do their own thing. And some people do choose the path of vice, but then some people they do choose the path of character. So
And that's why I think it's super important that, like, if you put yourself in a position to be a mentor to children, that you need to be the best possible version.
You got to
Exactly.
stick to what you say.
Because, like you said, they pick up on the habits.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if whenever you're in times of, you know, you're starting to, or you're in that position of where you could do bad and there's vice in front of you and you could easily choose it, if you are that person, which you always are, there's always someone watching. Like if you're in that place of, you know, you're a role model for someone, just think of what you're doing. Will it affect them? Will it negatively, you know, impact how you're going to be able to teach them, how they're going to be able to see you after that? So
And like, I mean, did you guys even really see me like yelling at the refs very much? Like,
nope.
I
No.
never tried to, and I mean, the fact that I have known all of them like since I've been playing, but like that's the other thing too, is like they're human, they're gonna make mistakes. Like
Yeah.
they, you know,
Having
they're
grace
just
with
they're
people.
some of them they're just there to get a paycheck, like you know. So it's like
Right.
I like, and also what is my vocalizing of my issue really, like in a negative way? What is that gonna do? Like, how do you respond to negativity? Not positively, I'm sure.
yeah,
You know, so it's like if somebody's over here yapping at you, it's only going to make you pop off quicker.
Right.
So,
right.
like for me, like you know, asking questions or whatever, like do that.
Mhm.
You know, get an understanding. And so, for me, like with the refs and stuff or officials, whatever it might be, I'm just like I try to ask, and like I might be heated in the moment or whatever, and have an elevated tone, but I never did any of that with like malice, because I'm like, these boys are watching how I talk, and they know that like if I'm talking to like, oh, you're doing it, why can't I do it? Like the boys are gonna see me yelling at the ref, and then they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna yell at the ref. And I always told you guys, like, nope, you do not talk to the refs. You don't talk to the refs. Like I'll talk to it. Like
Right.
you because one, it's just like so easy to pop off when you're so frustrated and heated in
Yeah.
the game. But
Especially with like tone and how you say something.
Yeah.
You can, be correct or you can be right about something, but you
Yeah.
can still go about it the wrong way, and you
Exactly.
could say it in a bad tone, and people can misinterpret it. And
exactly,
especially with refs, they're just trying to do their job. So
exactly.
Yeah, so cool. So, I mean, I had one last question, but you kind of already answered it. It was, are you excited to coach Foothill? And so you seem pretty excited.
Oh yeah, no,
See
I
what Coach
and
Foothill
this is gonna be my first year doing JV at
Yeah.
any school.
Mm.
I'm thrilled. I think I'm so excited to be back. I think that we have something really special coming up
Mhm.
in this entire program.
Yeah.
Not just with my girls, but in this entire program. We have 3 new coaches. Leah Nichols is going to be our varsity head coach. She's got her assistant coaches Amanda and Tracy, and then it's myself and my mom's going to be helping me a bit with
that's nice.
assisting.
Mhm.
Her and I have coached together at Mountain View Middle School when we
Okay.
were doing
Okay.
middle school games. We work pretty well together. We both have the same ideology. And
Yeah.
everything that we want to do, like in terms of the game, we're very similar on
In
that.
sync.
Yeah, and then for freshmen, we've got Chris Hart. He's going to be our freshman coach, and he's a good person and a good coach. So
That's good.
I think that the program coming up is
Got a bright future.
really lucky. Yeah, they're really, really lucky. And I know that I think one day I think I'm going to end up probably taking over the program if I'm given the opportunity. And it'll be great for me to just kind of like be involved in it and
Be
then
in that.
eventually
Make
make
your way
my way up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you coach
once-
freshman, now you're at JV.
Yeah, because I know that there was a lot of talk about getting me there this year to varsity, but it's just for myself. I put a lot of pressure also on myself as a coach. I think that if I'm going to be coaching varsity, that I need to make sure that I have everything I need in order to make the players successful. And I'm not just talking about on the court. I want to be able to like make sure that they're on top of their academics, of course, but mainly you're playing varsity, then you're either hopefully good enough to be looked at to go to schools. I want to be able to help you get looked at. I want to like tell you exactly what you need in order to like be able to talk to the coaches. Like my mom, like I was saying, like she did the absolute best that she could, and she did like amazing work. But like I probably would have been able to get so many more opportunities if we had known just any sense of like how to do this. Like you got to reach out. Like you
Yeah.
can reach out, you can send film. Like my mom didn't have a camera for me to record me. Like if I had highlights and all this and that, like I probably would have had so many more options. But I'm happy where I landed. But I'm just saying, like a lot of these girls don't know that. There was a basketball player that I had before. Her name was Grace McCoy, and she's a volleyball player though. Like that is her thing, is volleyball. And I ended up talking to her parents. I'm like, does she want to go play volleyball? And they're like, she does. She really, really wants to go play volleyball. And I'm like, what have you guys been doing, like to help her get there? They're like, well, we've done AAU. And I'm like, that's great, and that's the first step. But like, you need to reach out to coaches. I want you guys to start making highlights. I want you to film her games, make highlights, send them out to coaches, send letters, do everything that you possibly can. Start reaching out. How are they supposed to know that unless somebody tells them? Like nobody knows that. And so she ended up getting a scholarship to go play volleyball, and they finally were able to start reaching out and recording her games and like doing all this. And like, I just think that like I want to be able to provide that for my varsity girls when I'm in that position, to where I'm like, okay, I have highlight or film of you guys. Like, let me help you get this all figured out. And okay, let's go to these different areas so these coaches can see you. And like, I'll reach out to the coaches and let them know that we're going to be there to come watch us.
Exactly.
Like things like that, because I would never want to put myself in a position for something with such an important significance unless I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I'm not ready for that just yet.
Yeah.
Maybe
You
in a
wanna
couple
build your way
years.
up.
Yeah, and I don't know anything
Smart.
about like boosters and ASB and the scheduling, and like all the scheduling got mixed up with us, and I'm just like, all these different things. And so I'm like, I want to be fully prepared for that position because
Exactly.
they
That's good.
deserve that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
luckily, Leah's been doing that for years at West Valley, so she is the perfect person right now for
Yeah.
taking
You can do
over
like
the
a
program.
mentorship where you.
She wants me to help
Learn.
her, like on the bench and stuff too. So like I'm gonna be very much involved
That's
in
good.
everything,
Yeah.
which I'm excited
That's
about, because then I
amazing.
can learn the ropes for whenever that is possibly in reach for me.
Yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but all my questions they're done. I got finished. This is a really good podcast. Although we do have one more thing.
I got one more question.
Okay, one more question.
One more question before we get to that. Do you have like a relationship with God? Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I think that for me, it's I've had a really it's been a hard relationship with God
Mm-hmm.
for me personally. I don't talk to a lot of my friends or really anybody about religion, or I'm very much like whatever you believe in I love that for you, and like
Yeah.
Respect
I
it.
never push any type of ideology onto anybody
Yeah,
else in
I
terms
don't
of
think you should.
religion. Yeah, I
Like,
think that's a very much a personal
Respect whatever they believe in.
Yeah, that's a personal path. For me, when I was younger, I grew up going to church like every Sunday, like not like consistently like when I was super young, but once my dad got married to my stepmom, and she would take us to church and we'd go. My dad ended up getting sick. He ended up getting sick with kidney cancer, and he was slowly kind of just getting worse and worse. And us going to church, like I was constantly praying, please save my dad. Please, I'm 11 years old at this rate. Please save my dad. Please save my dad. Like anything that we can do. And I was never a big like prayer. I just was like, I'm a kid. I'm going through the motions. I'm going to church. Like what I'm supposed to do. Yes, I believe in God. And then my dad ended up passing away, and I was like, what the heck, dude? I asked you for one thing. I've never prayed. I've never asked you for anything. And I'm asking you for this one thing, and you can't do that for me. And my dad was like my best friend. Like I was definitely a daddy's girl. And so I was like, what the heck? And so at that point, I was very just discouraged from religion. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go to church anymore. I'm not gonna pray anymore. You don't listen to me. I had I was 12 when my dad died. I was young, and thankfully, it was again myself getting myself out of a hole. A year or two, maybe 3 goes by, and I'm realizing I'm like, this isn't the way to look at it. And instead of sitting there and going, like, how could you not listen to me? Like, I asked you for one thing. I changed my perspective, and I turned it into, you know what? Maybe God took my father so somebody else could have their little baby, so somebody could have their brother, so somebody else could survive.
Yeah.
There's always a positive out of a negative situation. And that's one thing that I really value about myself, is I'm able to always find like a positive in a negative situation. But I think it started from that. And I don't know if it was like a talk with God. I'm not sure what exactly changed my perspective, but changing my perspective completely changed my life in such a positive way.
Right.
And now I've been able to be like, I love God. He is my savior. Like I think that like when there's trouble, when bad situations happen, there is always a positive to find from it. And it's just about how you think about it. And you know what? Part of it is a coping mechanism, but that's okay. However you cope is best for you. That is how I ended up coping. And I won't say like I continuously go to church or anything, but like I have my own personal relationship with God, and that's what matters.
Right.
Definitely.
So for me, I am still a believer. It's not like I'm out here reading my Bible every day,
Yeah.
but I'm a believer of God, and and what He has provided for me, and what He's given me. And I know that I'm truly blessed to be the human I am today, what I have today, my knowledge I have, the outlook I have. Like I know I'm blessed, and I know that part of that was Him, but I know part of that was me and the people I surrounded myself with, and the decisions I made.
Definitely.
Right. Yeah.
It's very good to change your perspective on things.
Yeah.
so.
It's huge, and it completely changed my life for the better.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
It's a hard
that
thing.
sucks.
Thank you.
I
I
think-
think it's been helpful to go through that, because I've been able to help other people get through their struggles that they've
Yeah.
gone through,
Right.
and to be the person that helps them find light in such a negative situation.
Yeah.
And that's not even the worst. I mean, that's one of the worst things that's ever happened to me, but there's been plenty of other terrible things that have happened to me that I've been able to get through because I started at
Yeah,
that age
and-
finding the perspective I did.
You got to think of it as everything you've gone through, bad or good, is all a part of God's plan, and it's
Mold
going to get you to that
shape who
place.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes, like you were saying, God will, just because He does something, He puts you through like a difficult time. Like I've lost my house in the car fire.
Yep.
Parents gotten divorced, and like He'll put you through these hard times to see how you react and respond, and how you find like light in these bad situations. And it sucks, but You know,
Yeah.
God gives his like toughest battles for
To his
his
strongest
toughest,
soldiers.
strongest soldiers.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
and I've
it's-
gone through that car fire too, and I saw it as a blessing in disguise because
yeah,
even though
I
my
wouldn't
family,
be here if
yeah, and even though my family lost everything, I've never grown up frivolous, like, or excuse me, like I've never grown up with like materialistic things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I grew up behind Lake Liquor on Lake Boulevard, which is like a little drugstore that like there's not a lot
Oh,
of
I know
good
what you're
influence
talking
around.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up just like in a not a very good area, and in a tiny maybe 1,000 square foot house with 6 kids and 2 adults, and it's like that's how I grew up. And then and then I moved in with my grandma because we no longer had that house. So then we moved all of us into with my grandma.
yeah.
And so
So
now we're-
I moved in with my grandparents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then from my grandma's house, the car fire happened.
Oh.
And we had all of our things, all of our stuff. And as crappy as that was in that situation and having to move into an RV with all of us, I got to see like, okay, we don't need,
You don't need all this
anything.
extra
Mhm.
stuff.
and we're all still alive. We have all of our pets. Like all the blessings that come out of like just life are so much bigger than like things that you've lost.
Definitely.
And then to be able to gain that perspective, but then also like we actually really are blessed because like obviously insurance, like luckily we
Yeah.
had some insurance and we were able to have a home that is more beautiful than we've ever been able to live in before. And it's just like a whoa. If we never had gone through that loss, I would have never been able to experience this house that has a refrigerator with like ice in it. Like,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, like that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And so being able to like get that opportunity out of such a devastating time,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I always say there's always a positive out of
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just 'cause
negative
one door
situations.
may close doesn't mean another won't open.
Exactly.
Always find the light in these bad situations.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
So all my questions are answered. I don't know if about you guys.
Yeah,
So
if that one kind of
Yeah.
concluded my question.
I didn't even ask all mine, but they just got answered as we
Yeah.
talked.
As we
and
spoke.
yeah.
Perfect.
So we have one more thing.
Okay.
I think the best way to start this off is saying that Katana is such an awesome name. Katana,
Thank you.
like that's such a cool name, and I just want to make sure you know that a katana, like a sword, is like used to like destroy people, right?
Like chop their heads off, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
chop-
yeah,
That's a
exactly.
good way to put it.
Decapitate.
Yes. So it's great to have you on. We have a very special item for you.
It's around. Is it behind you?
Is it behind us?
Hmm?
Where-
Did we put it over?
Oh, where'd it
Oh.
go?
Oh. Oh, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yes. We're-
Stop it. Oh my gosh. You guys are kidding.
Nope. It's all you.
I have always wanted one. Oh my god, thank you guys so much. I was not expecting a gift.
It has your name on the handle.
Yeah. As
Shut
in-
up.
Yeah, right around here, I think.
Wait, up here? Here, show me.
On the hill.
Right. Here.
Oh, you guys, I'm literally gonna cry. This is amazing.
It's got that like snake skin, like
Mhm,
the black mamba.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys are so amazing.
Of course.
Mamba mentality.
Thank you so
Of course.
much.
Yeah, of course.
That is insane. I have never received such a meaningful gift.
I got a question.
Yes.
Who decided to give you that name, mom, dad?
My mother, my
Oh,
badass
being
mom.
like a badass samurai?
Yeah, so the background behind it is my brother was born first. He's older. Oh my god, I feel like such a badass with this thing. My brother is older than me, and my family's really been big into motorcycles. And well, my mom, my dad, my grandpa had a Harley, and
Mhm.
my mom always rode around with him. And she ended up deciding, okay, I have my firstborn son. I want his name to be Ducati. So you don't know that. I think everybody else pretty much in this room knows that. But my brother's name is Ducati. And so he was named after the motorcycle. And then my mom had me like a year and a half later.
Okay.
And there's actually a Suzuki motorcycle named Katana. And that's what she named
Oh,
me
yeah.
after.
Okay.
Which the
Katana.
Suzuki motorcycle is named after the sword. So I was ended up being named after that. But like me and my brother Ducati are the only ones who have a motorcycle name out of like the other two that my mom named, which is really funny.
We couldn't afford the motorcycle.
Yeah. The motorcycle, I mean, it would have been nice. No, I've always said, I've always wanted like a katana sword or like a motorcycle one day, but it's just never was something that I was like, oh, I'm gonna just go out and get that. Like,
Buy that purchase.
No, but like this is so amazing, and I'm like so thankful. You guys are literally so nice. I love it so much.
Of course.
I did not expect a gift. This is crazy. I thought I was gonna get like another taco or something. Thank you guys. I love it. This is so badass with my name on it too.
Mhm.
Did it come like that, or did you have to make that? Like,
My mom, she did the vinyl. I got the sword and then we picked it out with the boys. We went for the black mamba look and then my mom did the vinyl.
I love it.
So the vinyl might come off, but at least we
It's perfect.
started
I'm gonna cry
Right.
later.
today.
Thank you guys.
Of course.
Thank you.
Well,
Gotta
I-
sleep with it tonight. Now I have a weapon in my house. Thank you.
I think that
Yeah, I think that brings you to a
Okay.
conclusion.
So we had to get
Hey, I like that. Yeah, catch my highlights.
Yeah.
it was great to
that.
have you on, and
Oh, amazing.
it was
Anytime.
such a pleasure.
Anytime.
thank
Thank you guys. And anytime there's any other questions that you guys might have, like on camera, off camera, doesn't matter. You guys can always come to me and ask me. I'm hopefully gonna always be a person for you guys in your life. Even like just like Seabass, like once you guys are out of high school and everything, like we're always gonna be here, no
Thank
matter
you.
what.
Thank
so
you.
Thank you.
I care about you guys a lot. Even you, I like you a lot too. You're part of us too. I like it.
Thank
so
you.
thank you guys.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Thank you for the Dust Rose.
Oh
thank
yeah,
you
for
the best shows.
sure.
Thank you for coaching us and
Yeah.
kind of being a role model for us too.
Yeah, I hope that everything that I've taught you guys that you can, it will stay in the back of your head for future when you guys are having your own little crash outs or whatever, and you're like, no, Coach Katana would tell me to do this. So
Yeah. This
yeah.
isn't what Coach Katana would want.
right, or I'll come to the games and I'll just yell at
Oh
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
I'll be like, Jaden, put him down. This is basketball. We're not at football.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Outro. Yeah, we definitely got to do a follow-up pod after you coach at Foothill for a couple seasons.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Follow up on this, but thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, go follow us on Insta, and peace out.